last time, a couple of things happened last time. You guys found a dragon. That was the thing that happened.
Dragon, we found you.
Yeah, that's right. We found you, dragon. Yes.
He found himself.
Grisone. You guys were dazzled by his brilliant, prismatic appearance. You guys were quickly convinced of this dragon's strength, and he was convinced of your harmlessness, and allowed you to kind of roam a little bit. There was certain people cutting ropes that were holding certain people above certain death, and it's fine.
No one died.
It's true. Nobody died. Danny suggested to Tor and the others that maybe you guys could trade that mirror that you had found for like maybe some information or passage or something. Azalea decided that she was gonna go talk to him, and Danny's like, "Oh no, oh gods, I have to go." So you both went over there and spoke with him. While at the same time, Cyra and Tor were. Well, it was mostly Cyra. Tor was kind of supervising a little bit, maybe
attempting, doing his best.
Yeah, just doing his best. Whereas Cyra kind of touched some green mineral and broke it, and
fine.
Grisone almost killed her over it. It's fine.
It almost killed me!
That also is true. That's true. And then you guys, Azalea was given a large diamond in exchange for the mirror, and then you guys were flown over toward the next town. You were dropped off in the Trovent field, where there were some living rocks that nearly ran you guys over, but you were smart enough to get out of the way rather than try to fight a rolling rock. It's fine. Azalea got a piece of rock off of one of them.
I became a parent.
Yes, she has a child.
You are a parent to a
child. This is going to change
pet
you.
rock.
I rolled the rock over, and I was like, that rock had a child.
That rock had a child. That's right. You guys ended up getting to the western side of town, where...
We did not get hit by a boulder.
You were not hit by a boulder. It's true. You did not go walking on that beach, strolling on the beach, really.
Not yet. That's
not yet.
Today.
That's today. That's true. You are in a beachside town of Calocrav. You guys went into the Hot Cliffs Inn. Rather, Cyra and Danny went in. Cyra paid for 4 rooms, and then they noticed some gnomes in the corner, which case they went to go bother them, whereas Azalea and Tor stayed outside. Tor, you noticed that there was a lighthouse in town, kind of tried to peer over the edge of the cliffs, and it was so steamy and misty that you actually couldn't see the bottom. You could hear the waves and whatnot, but you couldn't see too far down in there. But yeah, you guys ended up going inside, where you guys kind of took your keys, went straight to bed, and then Danny and Cyra decided to speak with the gnomes, Captain Grand, First Mate Brayla, and the Quartermaster.
Okay.
You did notice...
Do we have a name for the Quartermaster?
No, he introduced himself as the Quartermaster.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I didn't find it in my notes.
You guys, Danny and Cyra, introduced yourselves. You guys got some ale. You talked a little bit, not too much, but Danny, figuring that you guys could get passage out of town, even though somebody's looking for you, decided to bring them up to Cyra's room and get the others to have a conversation with these folks. They had already told you that they're kind of repairing their vessel from pirate attacks, but that's pretty much as far as you guys had gotten there. And so, as you guys kind of congregate in this room, all huddled together, the windows are shuttered, but even in here, you can feel how heavy the moisture is in this room as you're kind of near the ocean and just all this mist and steam. There is a single bed. It's kind of nestled into the far corner by the shuttered window. You see Captain Grand. He's got lots of scarring on his face, and he's missing a few pieces, replaced with looks like clockwork. And he's got his golden vest that's kind of shimmering in the little candle light that's in this room. And he's kind of up against. There's an armoire on the left side of the room. He's just kind of arms crossed, leaning against it. The Quartermaster, their kind of broken, messed up jaws, kind of working on something, stands beside him, and then Brayla stands by the window. And you realize now that you hadn't really noticed this earlier, but they all have like cutlasses on their hips, so they're all armed. Um, and you all four have just kind of like Tor, you were kind of the last one to enter the room. You like closed the door. Now you're all like, it's kind of cramped in here. It's not very big. It's like a 15 by 10 foot room, and so you're all just kind of like real close together. And all the gnomes are looking at you, Danny.
Awkward. Wait, you said someone was looking for us?
So yes, so to
I screwed this up.
kind of get your memory jogged again.
You woke me up, asshole.
Varkolak had told you guys, or Calocrav, excuse me. Calocrav had told you guys that.
It's Varkolop.
So
That's
it's just it's his name backwards actually. So Calocrav had told you guys that somebody would meet you in Calocrapa to.
Brothers, that's why their names are opposite.
She's got it.
So, there you go. Yeah, she's got it.
Great.
Yeah, Calocrav had told you guys that there would be somebody looking for you and waiting for you here in Calocrapa to get you out of the country, essentially. And Danny, with his memory being as it is, clearly had forgotten about that point, even though Cyra had reminded him last time.
So the thing that I have forgotten, and this is Courtney has forgotten, what were the words spoken immediately before going upstairs to the room? Because I don't remember what the specific. I don't remember specifically what prompted them to look for privacy.
Oh, so Danny had asked to. I know it's been a little while. So Danny had asked, "Hey, we're looking to get out of the country. Do you think you guys could help us?" Specifically for Sharith Aptisa was what he was asking about.
Oh.
And so they,
You just like put all our cards on the table.
knowing certain things, were like, "Let's go to have this chat privately."
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they're waiting, because Danny had initiated this part of the conversation. So now they're just kind of waiting expectantly to see what he has to say.
So, I guess it was a bad thing to talk about Shariba the place.
Tita?
There you go. Yep, that. What's the? I don't understand. What? Why are we hiding?
And they all just kind of look at each other, and the quartermaster says, "You know that it's illegal to take citizens out of the country, right?"
Oh, that's easy. We're not citizens. Done.
And they just kind of like look over all of you. You don't have any badges. People without tokens or badges are considered citizens. You can't leave.
Well, we had badges.
And they all just look at each other like,
Guy, I don't know. Somebody, help me.
You woke me up. I'm
Well, I
the
thought maybe they would help us leave. I don't. Maybe this isn't. Maybe this is a bad idea.
But we noticed that you asked for privacy instead of just being like, "Wow, you criminals, don't talk to us." Does that mean you're open to the possibility?
and they look at each other and they look to you, sir. And Brayla speaks up and she says, "Well, we would be up to remove you from the situation, but it really depends on, well, what really reward is worth the risk, I suppose."
As is always the case.
old tax. How much are we talking?
Now, looking at all of you, I don't think you can afford it. The captain. Well, I don't suppose any of you have perhaps 1,000 gold pieces each.
Not each. That's
Well-
the best you could do. Surely there's something else you value.
Roll a diplomacy check.
All right, it's been charging for like a week. It had better be good.
I was about to say something stupid. Thanks for.
No. I want you to say something stupid. Come on.
Don't hold back on my
Please
account.
continue.
All right.
He wants to know more.
Sorry. I'm not stalling. I just had it on spells instead. Originally. 23.
Ooh. And they kind of congregate for a second. You hear some whispering, and then they turn, and the quartermaster says, "Well, there is something that perhaps you could help us with. There is something down at the docks that is spooking sailors. We don't know what it is, and the guards have been looking into it for some time, but have been unable to turn up anything. It's just a rumor, really. But if it could make the port a little bit more lucrative or safer for other sailors, I think that would be something worthy of that." And they just kind of leave it at that for the moment.
We have had great success dealing with spooky things that have been disadvantageous to the townfolk. I imagine that's right up our alley.
I'm gonna go back to my room now.
Are you going to announce that, or are you just going to leave?
Oh no, I'm announcing it. I'm gonna.
We'll start first thing in the morning.
And they look at all of you. They just nod. And they just kind of push past you guys and follow Azalea out the door. And Brayla, as she kind of goes by you, Cyra, she kind of puts her hand on your shoulder. You guys are roughly the same height. And she says, "Just beware. Whatever it is, it's people see it and they can't talk afterwards. It's very strange. Good luck."
So excited.
And they just leave.
To expose to it.
And they just she just kind of.
Oh shit! I would have suggested going tonight if I knew people wouldn't be able to talk after.
I know. I was like, man, who do I want to expose to this first and most?
Oh, definitely yes.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep. Yeah. So they step out and they head towards the stairs to go back downstairs. They still have their drinks from earlier.
Yeah.
And Cyra and Danny, you guys had brought your tankards up as well. In that last round, you ordered right before you asked.
About criminal activities.
Yes, about criminal activities. So.
No, well, we're not citizens.
That was the best. Well, we're not citizens.
You're a civilian, not a citizen.
That's right.
Do you know what the difference is?
Well, looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna close the door.
Okay. Azalea, you go back to your room, yeah? Okay.
I mean, I just want to. Danny, you remember that someone's gonna meet us and find us, right? We have reviewed this. We're solid on this.
Well, I mean,
we
of
don't
course.
need to acquire passage.
Obviously. However, I mean, sometimes it's good to have a backup.
Do love backups. Love backup plans. Also, expecting that they're going to find us. I think that this is a great and interesting way to pass our time. But I also am a bad decision maker, and I recognize that.
It's fine. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, it's nice to have multiple choices. If this other one doesn't work out, then we can go on with the gnome people.
You open to investigating?
Oh yeah. It could have good juices in it for alchemy.
I prefaced that with Tor, right?
It didn't come through if you did.
Okay, because I said
Tor.
Tor, are you open to investigating?
I guess I'm ready to get off this rock.
Okay, sweet. Then we will have our primary, which is Calocrav's man,
Yes.
messenger, person. I'm aware of the plan. I just don't know what to call it. And backup, we have our gnomes. We're gonna investigate. I'm very excited.
I forget. Did we decide that we could carry our weapons around here, or we gotta hide them because we don't have our badges anymore?
Without badges, I say no. We should not carry them openly.
You guys were fairly Azalea and Tor. You guys had them on you earlier in the evening, but with a high enough stealth roll that you guys had, you were able to kind of cloak up and kind of hide them.
Okay.
So it seems that at least this evening, the guards weren't terribly vigilant. They passed you and just kind of nodded at you, but they didn't stop you.
It was dark. They couldn't see a badge or anything. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So maybe we explore first in daytime, and then see what we got to do.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna finish my drink and go to bed. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I was trying to sleep before someone woke me up.
It's outrageous. Who would do that?
I know.
We met people. You know, it's always good to have
I'm very
friends.
excited. Yes.
They were punting size, yes. With that, I'm just going to go back to my room.
So, go ahead.
I think he made a joke about kicking you.
I'm aware. I would also note that you are the same size. So more specifically, he made a joke about kicking us. Just wanted to make sure.
No, Tor would never kick me. And then I'm going to start making my way back to my room.
Is there anything anybody wants to do before they go to sleep?
Wander down to the docks.
Okay. Are you actually going to do that?
Yeah, probably if nobody hears and stops me.
I went back to my room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, no one really is going to be aware.
I'm
not
one
going
is
to try
here.
to pick a fight. Huh?
What'd you say, Tor?
No, I just said we all went back to our room, so there's no one to hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Danny, you go back to your room as well, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it was nice knowing you. What's your next character going to be?
Ian hates my next character. I have a tiny bit of plot armor.
I just have a new player. I just have a new player, so I'll replace you. It's easy. So
Nice, what's Doc got to play?
Yeah.
Doc is not less trouble than me. More pleasant, more trouble.
Yeah, there you go. At least that. Okay, so you want to head down toward the docks then?
Yeah, first I'm gonna collect rumors.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to people downstairs, and I'm gonna be like, I just want to ask, hey, how are things going?
Make a society check for me.
Okay. Sweet, 22.
Nice.
Okay.
What do I learn about the rumors about the spooky at the dock?
Okay, so most of the people in here are they're sailors.
Yes.
A lot of them are wearing the Sailors Guild anchors
Yes.
and ropes. And best that they can tell is that one of the warehouses, and they kind of, through the rumor gathering, you have a pretty good idea of where this warehouse is specifically, is that it's been abandoned by the Sailors Guild because so many sailors are going near it and then being unable to speak afterwards. And people are just terrified of it. It's not that it's not maintained. It's not that it's old. It's just that something started happening and people stopped using it. People can't really decide if it's an Ashlands government warehouse or if it's a merchant guild warehouse or if it's a sailors guild warehouse. Who owns the building? But most people using it were of the Sailors Guild, as far as you can tell. Other rumors that you hear about it, this sounds like there's sometimes people wander nearby if they hear. It sounds like there might be other people in either distress there or just strange noises that draw them in. Most people can't really tell you because most of the Sailors Guild folk are illiterate, so they don't know how to write it down when they lose their voice. There are a few...
What a conundrum.
Yeah. There's a few people who've been able to kind of suss out what's going on, and as far as they can tell, the people, it says it's ranged from a ghost to somebody who's just a serial killer, who's just absolutely horrifying, and there are little bits and pieces of maybe it's some sort of demon that steals people's voices, and maybe it's some sort of water elemental that kind of gets into people's vocal cords and removes them. There are a lot of strange, just nobody has any idea what this thing is. If it's a thing or multiple things, they're not sure.
So no one has been able to recover their ability to speak?
Not at the moment. Not as far as these sailors in this tavern that you're kind of listening to and talking to.
How long has this been going on?
They say maybe 2 or 3 weeks, best you can tell. Most of these sailors haven't been here for a while, but this is kind of like second or third hand knowledge. But there are a couple of trading port cities nearby that the sail is not more than a day. So, people going back and forth. And so it's been a couple of weeks probably. And as the gnomes had told you, and this is kind of seems to be a general consensus, is that the guards are not doing anything about it. The guards continually report that there's nothing there, and there's no reason to not use this warehouse. And as far as you, Cyra, are aware, the guards in this country are very proactive about dangerous things if it's in town or in a town. So this is something kind of strange for you to hear.
Yeah.
But that's really what you kind of pick up in that specific vein of questioning.
What material is the badge that the guards wear? Is it silver? Is it gold? They all wear badges, right?
You actually hadn't seen any in this town yet, because the other two had stayed outside. But generally speaking, they were either silver or gold. Which seemed, and you guys had all kind of figured this out, seemed to denote their status, either
lineage.
Blood or rank.
Yeah. Do they carry a standard kind of weapon?
Not really. The ones that you had seen in Necroy and Lupadore all had bows, just like short bows. And some of them had long swords. A few of them had pole arms.
Okay.
You realize that they probably don't need the ranged weapons, but they carry them anyway, maybe just for looks.
Sure, they're cool.
And there are very, very few of them had carried heavier style weapons like warhammers or things like that. But that was one off, two off in the capital.
Yeah.
Seemed like maybe the capital guardsmen had a little bit more personal preference allowed. But yeah, you hadn't seen any in this town. You'd have to ask Tor or Azalea.
Okay. And then guards I haven't seen any here, but in general, they are at least Dhampir, if not vampire, right?
That seems to be the case.
Okay. And I assume none of the sailors are. No one that's been affected has been any form of Dhampir.
It doesn't seem to be that way. Nobody makes any particular note of race.
Okay.
It seems just sailors is a very generic term.
I'm gonna ask specifically.
Okay. With your society roll, no, nobody mentions Dhampir or vampires.
Okay. Okay.
There's a number of humans, some dwarves, some elves and half elves, kind of your standard stock. Some catfolk and some undine as well. Seemingly taken by this thing. There are notes as you kind of dig a little bit further that most people seem to return from this warehouse if they go investigate, but there are 2 or 3 sailors allegedly that have just not returned.
Okay. And there have been no, other than us, no weird visitors to town?
Not that anybody mentions.
Okay.
It's support. I mean, you're not necessarily considered weird.
That's right. We're finally not terribly weird. Okay.
Yeah, you guys finally might blend in a tiny bit.
Yeah. So my working theory is that the whatever degree of vampirism they have is what protects them. So I'm not going to go at night with no degree of vampirism myself, and I'm going to go back to bed.
At night. Okay, cool. Sounds good.
So there was disaster averted. And I'm aware, I just don't control it.
Okay. So you guys sleep rather peacefully through the night on a bed for once, which is very nice. Some of you sadly missing some of your equipment that you had left behind at Grissone's cave, notably some tents and whatnot. But that's okay.
Again? It's the second time, right?
Well, I mean,
What?
It only happened the one time, just
Okay, never mind.
At his cave.
I thought I'd lost.
So
Yeah.
that we suffer.
yes. I'm just reminding you of the things that you
we're
are
gonna go
losing.
No,
We'll go
don't worry.
shopping
It's
tomorrow.
literally a note. I lose my tent. Frowny face.
Frowny face. Yeah,
Big frown.
you guys all wake up at roughly the same time. Cyra sleeps in a little bit more. She was up for maybe an hour or two gathering some information. But the rest of you, kind of the three of you, wake up and kind of. Is there anything you guys want to do before you head downstairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go tell. Nah,
Well, Cyra, you're still asleep because you stayed up
Right.
a little bit longer. So,
I did
Tor,
actually.
Danny, and Azalea, is there anything you guys want to do before you go downstairs to get breakfast?
Nope. I set up my alchemy stuff when I was going to bed, I guess.
Cool.
No, breakfast.
Okay. Azalea, you're going to go get breakfast? Okay. Cool. So you three head downstairs, and it's a fairly busy morning down here. It's actually really warm in here, especially for the kind of late autumn sort of time it is. There's a fire going, and there's a lot of clearly sailors in here. Most of them are wearing the sailors guild badge, and they're all kind of eating and drinking. Anything from there's like some stews. There's a lot of like nice breads, some like meat rolls and whatnot. Yeah, so you guys head downstairs, and the coin that Cyra had paid, it was a copper piece for a night and a meal. So you guys would have to pay a copper piece for the meal for today and for the night if you guys wanted to stay longer.
Yeah, play another copper. Because I don't know what we're going to be doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Azalea, you gonna do the same? Yeah. So you guys kind of congregate at the bar, and there's this gray-skinned dwarf. He's got this long white hair. He's got this very simple white apron on, and he's wearing like kind of a maroon top and black pants, and he's got his beard. And he's got little pointy, not quite fangs, but almost fangs. Clearly a dampier. And he takes your coin and says, "Oh, all right, I'll get you guys something to eat. Give me just a moment." And you guys get to keep your keys. And he kind of dishes you guys out some food and some ale for the morning. And at this point, you guys get your food, and Cyra, you kind of like come out of your kind of you feel a little groggy, but you're awake.
So I'm just gonna like do my morning preparations, and I'll hang out until I can come downstairs. Till I finish my.
So the rest of you have to take. She's got to take about an hour to do that. Is there anything you guys want to do in that time other than eat? Is there anything you want to talk about, or?
I want to go shopping. We should go shopping.
I'd like to go get some shopping too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, that's pretty neat.
So after shopping, where do you think we should start? Just wander around the docks? You're the smart one. Like, where do we investigate? They didn't give us much information.
I'm smart, but I'm not wise. But yeah, sure. We should probably just go to the docks and see what's going on. I know none of us have been there yet, so.
What do you think, Azalea? She were right there with us, right?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
Well, since somebody volunteered us, yeah, I suppose we should investigate.
Well,
Where
for
is
once,
she?
I didn't
Why
hear
is
you say no last night.
That's fair.
Hey, I know better. It's not going to amount to anything, so I'm gonna get some sleep and deal with it the next day.
Good choice.
No, but it's least amount of energy.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, let's go do some shopping.
Yeah, shop till you drop.
Okay, you guys kind of finish your breakfasts and make a decision. And as you kind of come to that decision, Cyra ends up coming downstairs, and Cyra, you're able to pay a copper for your meal and a night if you wish.
I do wish. Okay, guys, I'm gonna grab my food and sit down at the table very excitedly. Okay, So I talked to people last night. Don't worry, I did not leave the building, but I talked to people last night. There is a suspicious warehouse, and here's what I've gathered so far. It has affected a large variety of races. Primarily, they have lost the ability to speak. Most of them are sailors, so they don't know how to write, and so they can't describe it. But apparently there's weird sounds that come from the warehouse. In addition to that, sounds like, based on the rumor mill, 2 to 3 sailors have just not returned. I don't know. They were killed or whatever. There's a lot of rumors about what it is. I don't think we need to get into the nitty-gritty of that yet. But apparently, yeah, sounds of distress is the best we can figure out. It's been abandoned. It's actually really unclear who owns the warehouse. We don't know if it's the Merchants Guild, the Sailors Guild, or if it's actually owned by the city. Was primarily being used by the Sailors Guild. But what I find most interesting and telling is that the guards have investigated and found nothing. And that's why they haven't done anything. So I know that if I was in some other part of the world, I might think, oh, lazy guards. But the guards here, at least the ones we've seen, have been pretty proactive. And if it's a danger to the town, okay, not to be grotesque or anything, but it's a threat to the food supply. So they're going to take care of it. So the guards here, even if it's self-interest, they give a shit about what happens to the citizens. And it's not affecting it. So they have found nothing. So my working theory is that whatever the problem is prevented by vampirism. So we should go check it out. But I think we should bring a guard with us.
Bring what with us?
A guard?
Oh.
See what's there.
They're going to want to go with us, considering our lack of jewelry.
They will or won't want to go with us.
That was a question.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't want to go mute. That would be kind of bad for my, personal happiness. I don't know. Maybe we could. I don't know. At least let's talk to them. Maybe they won't, but if I'm like, hello, I'm a concerned citizen that doesn't want to go mute or be vanished. No other thoughts? Okay.
Well, my good job for you.
Not leaving the building?
For you to talk to the guard.
Oh, sorry. I only heard half of that. I thought you said, good job.
No.
And I was like, I being praised for not leaving the building.
You.
Thanks.
You did great.
I'll do that. Okay, now I'm just going to return to eating my food since no one else is going to talk to me.
Everybody's pretty groggy in the morning. It's a little bit of a slow start, but it's okay as you kind of finish up your food as the daytime kind of kicks in and the sailors start kind of moving out to do their business down toward the docks. And there's you can hear a general kind of uptick in activity outside as the day kind of begins. So as Cyra finishes up her breakfast, you guys have already kind of finished, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for her. Yeah, you don't see the gnomes you spoke to last night. They either left the building last night or left earlier than you guys woke up, but they're not here. So what do you guys want to do? I know you mentioned shopping. You mentioned finding a guard. Is there a particular order you want to do these things in? Somebody make a decision.
Go shopping.
Go shopping.
If someone will get me a tent, I'll go talk to the guard while they go shopping.
Okay. Tor is gonna go shopping. Who's going with Tor?
I don't think it's a good idea to send you by yourself. I also don't think it's a good idea to talk to the guards, but I know I'm not going to stop you, so just don't do it by yourself.
Well, do we have a better idea? I think they seem like the only ones not affected so far.
I mean, I don't know. They might not love the idea of you, I don't think you're doing a good enough job, so come with me.
No. I think you're not impacted. So we're just going to get more different eyes that might be impacted.
All right, fine, but I'm not talking.
So, Azalea, you're going to go with Tor shopping, or are you going to stick with Cyra?
I'm there shopping. I'm not fucking talking to these guards. Shit.
Danny, what are you doing?
I'm going to go shopping.
Okay. So, are you guys gonna go out armed or unarmed?
Unarmed.
I mean, mostly unarmed. I still have my
Okay,
potions
cool.
with me. But
Azalea, what about you?
I'm gonna keep my daggers on me because I'm pretty good at keeping them out of sight.
Okay, Cyra.
I got a cloak. I'll just stick it like in my shoulder pads.
I'm good. I'll just go. Sorry, my brain processed that slowly. Yeah, I'll definitely leave the rapier. But I'll keep my whip with me. It's a useful tool.
Okay.
It's not gonna be considered a weapon, right? It's literally just a whip.
Yep, it is just a whip. But are you gonna carry it openly, or are you gonna try to hide it?
With it good.
I'll put it in my bag.
Okay. But for the other people that need to maybe hide some things, notably Danny and Azalea, I need you guys to roll stealth checks for me, just to hide these things. Stealth or thievery, whichever one you're better at. How about that?
I'll take. Actually, they're the same for me. But stealth, 25.
Very nice.
18.
Okay.
I only rolled a 7.
Yeah, that's fine.
I might need to change dice. These ones are not working well.
So as
Naughty
you guys
Tale it is.
head out the
Actually,
door,
I'm gonna go with him.
you're gonna go with them.
I'll go with him at the last second. Yeah, but I'll leave my rapier in my room.
Okay. You guys kind of head out the door. You guys have no idea where any shops are. And you can't really see too much. It's still very, very foggy here. It's very warm. There's a lot of like mist. It's very humid. You realize it's probably like a dissipating steam has just turned into fog. So, what direction? You guys are on the western end of town. You see a lot of seems like just housing around you. You guys want to wander, or do you guys want to ask somebody for directions?
Kind of okay with wandering.
Okay. Danny, roll a society check, please.
16. 17.
So Danny, you have a general feeling that wandering will probably be best to draw the least amount of attention to all of you. But you also kind of figure that maybe you should wander down the cliffs, kind of towards the docks. That seems to be where a lot of the sailors are. Maybe there's more of the kind of mercantile area that way. And you guys head down roughly that direction. Now, are you guys? Is there a specific type of store you're looking for, or do you want me to just kind of name what you spy?
I'd like to know what we see.
Okay, so as you guys head down these cliffs, it's kind of like a very, very low grade, but lots of kind of zigzags, lots of switchbacks on this cliff road as you kind of head down these cliffs, and they're kind of this like chalky white color. So everything kind of blends in a little bit, and there's a lot of traffic moving up and down, so you guys are easily kind of blend into the crowd. There's some carts going each direction. It's wide enough for maybe 3 carts to move abreast, and so you realize that this is very well made road, even if it's fairly old, and you guys try not to slip as it's kind of this moist like cobbles. It's very easy to slip here, and you guys carefully tread. But you guys take maybe 15-20 minutes, and you guys get down to the docks. And there's nothing built along the road, so you kind of see some roofs at the last couple of minutes there as you kind of descend back into the town, as it were. The air down here at the docks is hot. It's actually cloying. The steam from the sea and something going on along the cliffs is obscuring most everything around you. Even during these daylight hours, which admittedly are fairly dark anyway, it's even more dark. Silvery mist, like a kind of diffuse moonlight on this perpetually humid shoreline. There are plenty of dock workers around, hustling from one job to another, very gracefully avoiding one another. Nobody's running into each other. There's no altercations or anything like that. And as you guys are kind of moseying down the docks, you can see a large number of ships in port. Just kind of, you can't see the whole ship most of the time. A lot of the smaller, like fishing boats and stuff like that, you can see fairly well. But anything greater than 25 feet long, you can't see the whole thing. But almost all of them are wooden sailing ships. A few of them bristling with like armaments, kind of like large bolt throwers, and even catapults. Some of them have catapults on them. One, however, kind of stands out to all of you. It's this kind of glimmering, sweeping array of copper and gold and bronze by kind of like in the center of the dockyard. And you see a great ruby heart painted near the front of the ship, near the bow. There are two great contraptions attached to the port and starboard sides, and look almost like water wheels, almost. And you see a soot-topped stack in the middle, kind of angled slightly toward the aft of the ship. You can see the overall polished look of the vessel isn't quite covering the dings and scratches along its hull. You actually even see a few holes. And you can see there's workmen on rigging, mostly gnomish, kind of working on repairing the vessel. And it appears to be a normal-sized vessel, so fairly large for the two small people here, but normal-sized for Azalea and Tor. And as you guys are kind of wandering down here, you realize there's not a lot of options in this town. You realize a lot of the economy is just like bulk goods moving back and forth. But you do see a store. The first one you see is it's just called Calocrav General Goods. It seems to be open. There's regular citizens kind of moving in and out. You see another one actually just right next door, named Iona's Herbal Remedies. And then you see a tavern a few doors down from there called the Ocean Breeze Tavern. But those seem to be the only like shops around here. You do see, as you kind of approach these shops through the mist even further on, there appears to be a large row of like warehouses kind of extending outward into the fog. You guys are kind of like facing a relatively like a maybe south direction. You know the coastline runs north-south, and you kind of got turned around on those switchbacks. So maybe south, maybe north. You're not really sure. Which you can't really tell. There's no sunlight, so kind of have to deal with that. But those seem to be the stores that you have available to you.
Well, I like that general goods store. Y'all want to go get new beds and tents?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yes.
Okay. So you guys head into the general goods store, and you kind of wait for.
Was I missing my tent too? Did my tent get stuck? I think it did.
It did. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Bitch. All right.
So.
Yes.
That was the situation, not you.
So you guys wait for the relatively elderly lady kind of like exits, and you wait for her to get out of the way kind of impatiently, and you guys head inside the store, and it's a relatively well organized store. There are a few counters that form almost like a big U shape. There's a few ways for the clerk, whoever's running it, to exit, but all the merchandise is kind of like behind these counters. You realize that maybe they may have had some problem with thievery in the past, working with outsiders, as it were. Sailors, some of them have some sticky fingers. But you see kind of an older looking man behind the far counter. He's got this gray hair, and he's got a very sharp widow's peak. He's got this kind of like beige smock and brown pants. And he's like not really facing you guys. He's kind of off to the side, kind of fiddling with. It looks like he's got just. You're actually not sure what the hell he's messing with. Something made of wood. Danny, you actually recognize it. It's like a potion rack. There's nothing in it. It's just he's walking around with it. But yeah, you guys can look around and see what you need. You can ask him for things. Yeah, we'll go from there. He doesn't say anything as you guys enter. There's other customers around. He's not really helping anyone at the moment, but
Approach him. Do you have tents and bedrolls?
he kind of like hears your voice and he looks kind of at what his eye level would be, and you see a hint of confusion, and he looks back down. So, oh, well, hello there, my friend. Tents and bedrolls. Yes, of course I have these things. Now, and he kind of like looks at you and he says, thankfully, as a citizen, you get a certain reduction in price, and you see a couple of the other patrons in there are Sailors Guild members, and they give you kind of this dark look as they're kind of like discussing something about like beyond the counter as two humans, and they're just like give you all of you just kind of dark looks. Yes, well, what kind of tent are you looking for? What size? I have a 4-person tent. I have a single-person one. I have a pavilion if you need a pavilion. If you are hosting any sort of event in town, of course, it must be sanctioned, but that's not my business. I'm just here to sell you these things. What are you looking for?
1-person tent.
Now, and he sees all 4 of you, and he notes none of you are wearing badges, and he looks to the sailors and says, normally this would cost 8 silver pieces. However, because these people are citizens, it would only be 4 silver pieces. So that would be 4 silver pieces for a single-person tent.
Thank you.
Of course. And
I will give him my 4 silver pieces.
As you kind of reach up and put the coins on the counter, you see another kind of a gray-skinned man, very, very, very similar looking to the person you're talking to, and he comes out with kind of a tent, and he just kind of like puts it down on the counter for you. Here you go, youngin. Yes. What can I do, little green man? I'm sorry. We don't get your kind much around here. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm a citizen, so I need discount too. But I need a tent, a bedroll, and fishing tackle. You got some like little collapsible pole and things to fish with?
Oh yes. I'm sorry. Little Kobold, did you need a bedroll as well?
Yeah,
well,
that was my next question.
Thankfully, I can't really split coppers, so I'll get me a bedroll. That'll be 4 silver pieces for the tent, little person. I'll hand each of you a bedroll to go with it. There we go. And now the sailors just kind of huff and they like walk out. Not exactly happy with the 50% discount you guys are getting right off the bat here. And then in the fishing tackle, of course. Now, are you just looking for something small, or are you looking for a professional set?
Just small. Professional. No. What?
Well, that'll be another 4 silver pieces then, my friend.
Easy. Here.
So, yeah, he gets another tent, and he hands you each a bedroll, and then, the second guy goes in the back, and he goes and you hear some muttering as he's kind of... It's not really a door, it's just like a curtain. And you hear some muttering as he's kind of moving some stuff around. And the guy out there, initial person out front, looks to Azalea and Tor and says, well, now that I've helped these two, and I may come back to you, I will come back to you, of course. And he kind of looks down at you guys. But is there anything I can get started for you two? And he kind of looks at Tor first.
I'll take a 10 and a bedroll too to replace the one I lost out camping.
Oh yes, the weather this time of year, the winds, it's just a terrible thing. I completely understand. Man, it's a bold move to camp in this sort of weather, and I see that it's maybe bit you a little bit. I understand, but yes, that'll be 4 silver pieces. 4 silver pieces, and you'll get a bedroll as well.
Here you go, sir.
And he doesn't. He goes to like go for the counter, and then he just sees you, and he kind of cups his hand, and he takes the coin, throws it in a box, and he says, "One more tent and bedroll, Darius." Yes, brother. I'll get it. And you hear some more muttering, and you hear something fall in the back. And, oh God, damn it! God, ah. Ma'am, is there anything I can get for you? I'm talking to you, Azalea.
Much for the big tent.
For the pavilion? Well, a pavilion for you would be 20 gold pieces. Now there's a 4-person tent. That would be 2 gold and 5 silver. But yeah, yes.
We'll do the 4-person, and I'll get your finest bedroll.
Oh, yes, of course. That would be 2 gold and 5 silver, please.
Okay.
And so he takes the coins from you and Darius, we need a large tent, please, a 4-man. I don't think all of you combined could probably carry a pavilion. You probably need a few more people.
Yeah, but the big tent, I can do that.
So
Thank you.
a 4-person tent is a bulk of 1. And a single man tent is a light bulk.
Yep. The reason why I went with a regular 1-person tent.
You don't even like us. Why did you want the big tent?
So you can have even more space away from us.
That's fair, actually. But I love the optimism, thinking we're not going to invade it when we need it.
Well,
I mean, you won't. It'll be fine. Hold on. How do I add that to? Hold on. Add gear. Add gear.
and so the second shopkeep, Darius, brings out the goods for everybody and kind of hands them out. And you can see they've got most everything you could really want equipment wise
So
here.
if
Go ahead.
I'm encumbered at 5, and I am currently at 5.5.
You're currently at what?
If
Her
I
math-
can handle 5 and I'm at 5.5,
You
what
are
are the penalties?
you are
It's just movement speed, right?
you are over
Yeah, you
encumbered.
lose 10 feet or something.
Yeah. So let's.
I think you get clumsy 1.
I believe it's clumsy 1, but let's just see.
Oh, I
Encumbered. You're carrying more weight than you can manage. While you're encumbered, you're clumsy 1, and take a 10-foot penalty to all your speeds. There you go.
Oh, but if I put it in my backpack, it doesn't count.
That's
What?
not how that works.
I don't know. I moved it from my main inventory to my backpack, and it took it out.
That's weird.
I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, so it's weird.
I don't like it.
You
I
don't
have-
to.
Yeah.
Have to.
My spreadsheet counts when I have it in my stored items.
A backpack holds up to 4 bulk of items. If you're carrying or stowing the pack rather than wearing it on your back, its bulk is light instead of negligible. There you go.
So we
Oh,
just
so it
need to
reduces
buy a
it.
backpack?
It reduces it as
Well,
long as it's in the
backpack.
backpack.
It's part of my adventurers pack, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it should reduce
So-
the load a little bit. Ouch.
If you put something in a backpack, it goes from a bulk of 1. It goes down a
Light.
bulk level.
It goes to negligible, pretty much. If you're carrying the backpack is light. If you're wearing it, it's negligible, which is nothing, essentially. So you can put 4 bulk in your backpack for free,
counts for nothing.
essentially.
nice.
It could be
Nice.
a
For
backpack
free.
while you run.
Oh, nice.
Well-
All right.
That is the it's the ruling I'm going with as I've read it. So
Until
further notice.
sir.
Yes.
So we have okay, so part of our adventure was Big Bird. I'm so sorry, I have forgotten the name of the bird, but it nearly killed us. But we harvested its feathers and its claws. Do you buy those kinds of things?
Oh.
Are those useful to you?
And you show him these things. You say, "Oh, interesting." Roll a society check for me.
ISO's website says the first 2 bulk of these items don't count against your bulk limits. If you're carrying or stowing the pack rather than wearing it, its bulk is light instead of negligible.
Good enough. Okay, well we'll go with that then.
So I rolled a 9 on my society check.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Tor, for those. There you go. So it's 2 bulk, and then, the rest. Okay. And the shopkeep says, Well, I'm not entirely sure if I could use those, but I think Iona next door would be able to use them.
Oh, well, thank you.
Of course.
Can I? What do? I'm so suspicious. This is me as a person.
Oh.
Can I roll for? No, that would be meta. Never mind.
Okay.
I want to know why I rolled a society check. But she wouldn't know that anything's wrong. She doesn't know that Cyra doesn't know she rolled a society check.
Yeah.
So I'll talk
It's
to
kind
Iona
of
next
it's
door.
kind of what appraise falls under nowadays. So that's kind of how I went with it for that. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing there is
and also just
it would have
your
let me-
own knowledge of like you don't see anything kind of similar to that. But
Okay.
like, just in case you're like maybe I can sell this to
Okay.
you.
then I will take them next door. We have much between the four of us.
Is there anything else that I can help you folks with?
Do you
look
have?
like-
Oh,
Go ahead.
could I buy parchment to send a letter?
Parchment, you say? Do I actually have any parchment? Does he actually have any parchment?
I don't know. Does he have any parchment?
That is a great question. And I'm trying to find parchment on here, and I feel like a fool. Where is it? It just goes straight from oil to python. It skips parchment. Okay, let me take a minute because I think it's not under normal equipment. It's something else. So let me look. You know what? I have the old Google machine. I'm gonna use that.
The Google machine.
Pathfinder 2e parchment. There we go. Okay. Yeah, why is it not? That's fine. Oh, because it considers it for magical items. Okay. Well, I have sheets of parchment. One sheet of parchment would be 1 silver piece.
Okay, I'll do that.
Very well. And he just there's a drawer near his money drawer, and he takes out a single sheet of parchment and he, takes your silver and he hands it down to you.
Cool.
Okay. Tor, what were you gonna ask or say?
I was gonna ask you, looking around, does it look like he has health potions or anything like that, or does it look like I probably have to go next door for that?
It seems like he'll probably have to go next door for that. Even though he was no shit working on a potion rack when he got here, you actually don't see any potions in here.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Do the rest of you have anything you want to look into here? Take that as a no. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's the one
Yep,
thing I
nope.
cared about.
So, as you kind of finish your transactions and Cyra, you carefully put your parchment away, and the rest of you kind of roll up your bedrolls and your tents and attach them to your bags. Another group of sailors, this time appears to be an Undine man and a dwarven woman and a human man walk in, and they're just kind of chatting amicably and just looking about at all of the things. They seem fairly well weathered. None of their clothes are new or anything like that. They've got cutlasses as well, and they're just kind of the next customers in as you guys are kind of moving out the door. They make plenty of space. They don't bother you or anything like that. You guys step out onto the cobble street, and Iona's is next door. Herbal remedies. Do you guys head in there?
Yes.
Weird. Okay, cool. I never would have guessed. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Kitty cat.
Cool. So you guys head inside, and you realize that whoever built the place next door probably built this place as well. It is the same exact layout. It is the same U-shaped counter, the same shelves. There's the same room in the back, though this time rather than a curtain, it is a no-shit door with what looks like at least one lock on it. And it's very aromatic in here. There's a lot of you can see some bright flowers that have been kept in jars, and some other things kept in liquid of some sort. There's vials of pretty much anything you could look for in here. Yeah, and the person behind the counters, however, here are a little bit shorter. Seems to take into account maybe the owner of the place. And there's a dwarven woman on the far side, and she's got this long, kind of like curly, really flowy hair, um, and she's got this kind of this simple sapphire dress on. She's got this kind of like black vest that seems to be made out of like a leather, maybe a protective, not quite an apron. But you see it's got like flowers and herbs embroidered on it anyway, even if it is maybe leather. And she's kind of working with something in the back. And she looks up, and there's nobody else in the shop. And she says, "Oh, do come in. Welcome, welcome. It is a wonderful morning. Please, let me know if there's anything I can help you with." And she's kind of going back. She's got a mortar and pestle, and she's like grinding something.
I want
Uh,
Do you have healing potions?
She looks up, and then looks slightly down at you. And she says, "Of course. Yes, we have healing potions. We have a number of kinds. We have elixirs of life. We have healing potions, both minor and lesser. Is there something that you are specifically looking for?"
What's the price difference between a lesser and a minor?
Well, a minor health potion is 2 gold coins, and a lesser is 6.
If we bought in bulk, do you offer discounts?
I'm afraid that these are already discounted prices considering your citizenship.
Yeah, we're citizens.
Normally, I would sell these for 4 and 12,
That
but
is many.
because we need to keep everybody happy and healthy, these things are a bit cheaper. They're subsidized. So, whatever we
Oh.
can help you with, I'm afraid that even if you do buy in bulk, I cannot offer any more discounts, as it hurts both me and the government. And she kind of just makes a sign in the air to kind of like ward off evil. Like,
We also have these feathers and talons. Would these be useful to you?
ooh.
And I will profit them up.
Roll another society check for me. She's gonna roll one as well, just to see what she can garner for value on it.
20.
You
30.
you think that all of this together is probably worth maybe like 10 or 15 gold pieces?
Wow.
And she kind of looks it over. And are you gonna like just put it on a counter, or are you just gonna hold it in your hand? It's a lot. It's like 50 feathers and 12.
I was gonna
talents.
lay them out on
Okay.
the counter.
Yeah, and so she puts up 3 lesser health potions, or healing potions rather. That is what I'd be willing to trade for those things.
That seems like a good trade.
Very well. And
So,
she just
Because
kind of starts scooping them up like very quickly.
and so we agreed that the lesser was worth 6 gold pieces, so I'm getting 18. The value of 18 for this.
The value of 18 for you, yeah. Now, if it was for an outsider, it would be more. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. Okay, what a good deal. Everybody's happy.
and she kind of like, she actually, rather than just kind of like scooping them into a box or anything, you see she kind of picks up the hem of her dress and like kind of scoops it into her dress. And she's like, just, I'll be right back. And she like uses one hand to open the door, and she disappears into the back for a moment, and you just kind of hear all the things just kind of, mostly the talons, like kind of plonk onto some wood
Yeah,
as she offloads.
you guys, we got a pretty good deal on that. Okay, cool. And I'm actually gonna give the 3 out to my compatriots. I'm generally further away from combat, so I feel like they should probably have them.
So you each get 1 lesser healing potion.
And we each get to remove a light bulk.
There you go.
We get to what about a light bulb?
I with the backpack probably doesn't matter anymore, but we each carried the light. We carried enough of the feathers and talons so that it didn't equal a bulk.
Okay,
Yeah, so all the stuff that you guys were carrying, you can kind of drop in that sense.
Do I see?
Go ahead.
Look around. See any look like formulas or formula books or anything I can Yeah, anything like that? Formulas?
Yeah, actually, there are a few like pieces of parchment behind like glass panes, um, like display windows almost. They're kind of hard to decipher. You'd have to take your standard time to really get into it and copy it. But yeah, you see a couple. There are a lot of them seem fairly complex, um, above your skill level at the moment. But there are a few that would be within your range, as it were.
Is there a price tag on them?
Looking at it, you see one of them is a potion of water breathing. Um, that has. Oh, actually, can you make potions or can you only make elixirs?
I can make. Oh,
That is
You
a
could
thing.
probably craft them.
I don't see
that,
why you
well,
wouldn't
I
be
think
able
I can
to.
craft a potion.
I'm not sure. That is a.
Let's see, bombs.
So I was like, I had planned for this. I was like, oh shit, I didn't look that part up.
I mean, I can make them. I probably just can't make them like I have to
As
craft it like
easily?
normal.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, let's
But I mean, I get massive crafting.
bonuses. Yeah. Let's go find Alchemist and see what they're allowed to do. Sorry, I should have looked at this earlier.
No, this means we all
Uh,
get to learn.
Once
You're fired.
Yeah, I know I'm the worst. Um,
No, you're fired. That means you can go home now.
oh yes, thank you. I'm already there. Damn it.
I got him.
Got me.
Turned into a cow. Can I go home?
Can I go home? Quick bomber. Yeah, but what does it like allow you to do?
Yeah, it's
It
very
doesn't
stupid.
help me. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna keep looking.
I can find it.
2E,
Let's see.
Pathfinder. Alchemist crafting. Here we go. Chemical crafting. You can use the craft activity to create alchemical items. Okay, that's fine. What is crafting? Earn income for craft. You can craft items with the consumable trait in batches, making up to 4 at the same time at once with a single check. It requires you to include the raw materials for all items in the batch at the start. You must complete the batch all at once. You also craft non-magical ammunition. You can gain access to formulas for all common items in Chapter 6 by purchasing a basic crafter books. Okay, so now I want to look at what's Chapter 6 say for equipment.
I do have the basic crafter book.
Okay, that is good.
But healing potions are magical.
They are
so you'll
magical.
Be able to craft magical items
Oh.
or magical
Yes.
crafting. feat.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So in that
It
case,
would just be an additional feat? That's a question.
Yeah, you have to have the magical crafting feat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Acquire the
and-
formula.
An elixir, like an elixir of life, is a non-magical elixir. A healing potion is a consumable magic item. So I can maybe get the formula, but I don't think I have the ability to craft it. Maybe.
Yeah, not at the moment.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Reddit post. It says you have to have the magical crafting feat, acquire the formula, purchase or acquire raw materials for half the cost.
Yep.
Start the crafting process, which takes 4 days.
Yep.
And then make a crafting check versus the DC.
So yeah, you could
Yep.
purchase these formulas, but you would have to get that feat later on at some point if you wanted to craft those things. So if you know you don't want to look at those, there are elixirs that are just alchemical. That there are those here as well that you can look at if you want.
I'm gonna ask her. Do you got any water breathing potions for sale?
For sale, yes, of course. I have those for 5 gold pieces.
Hmm. And I'm gonna turn to the rest of the party and just ask. Do y'all want to like each buy one or go in on a batch of them just in case?
That would be wise.
What was that, Danny?
Water breathing. We need water breathing potions. 4 gold pieces each.
5.
5. Well, I mean, we're citizens.
Yes.
So
Normally I would charge you 11. I'm actually
Okay,
giving you a
well-
slight discount even on that.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
5 gold each. I definitely
Cool.
I'm taking one.
Okay.
At least
Oh,
one.
okay.
How long do
I
they
am fine.
last?
You gain the effects of a second level water breathing spell for an hour.
Nice.
Probably useful.
Good enough. I'll buy it.
'Kay.
So I bought one.
Who else is buying
Yeah, I'll
one?
buy one.
Okay, Tor's buying
Yeah, I
one.
I'm
will.
actually
Cyra's
gonna
buying
buy 2 because I'm paranoid.
one. Okay, Cyra's buying 2. Azalea, are you buying any? Azalea's buying one as well. Okay. Do you want to look at the formulas there, Danny?
I'm looking to see if there's any that I actually need. Yeah, I mean, do you have it? You have some on hand? Can you tell? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So there is a Sea Touch elixir. It's a level 5 for your sake. For 11 gold pieces. There is a Salamander elixir. Both these are lesser elixirs, and that one is for 8 gold pieces. That's a level 4. And then there is let's see, what would actually be helpful to you? And then there's a moderate Eagle Eye elixir, which is level 5, and that's for 13 gold pieces. I know those are above your level at the moment, but maybe for later.
yeah, I want. Can I buy this Sea Touch and yeah, this the Sea Touch and yeah, just the Sea. Can I get the Sea Touch elixir?
Yes,
Formula?
of course. The formula will be 11 gold, and she
Okay.
kind of takes out the sheet of parchment and she hands it over to you as you hand her the gold.
Sweet.
And then maybe is there any other ones? Nope. There's no other ones that you would even think of. So.
Do you have any magical items? They're
Well,
probably out of my price range right now, but I thought they might still be fun to see.
she just like gestures to all of the potions in the room.
No, I meant like a ring or a necklace.
I'm afraid I don't sell any of those sorts of things.
That's practical, I
Yeah,
suppose.
this is terrible stuff.
I'm gonna take the salamander. I need the salamander elixir too.
All right. That'll be another 8 gold. 8 gold.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. 7 gold and 5 silver.
Oh. Okay.
Still a win. Do we need anything else? What else? What else? Somebody was. I was at the tavern last night. Someone was talking about the haunted warehouse. Do you know anything about it?
Roll a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes. Rolled even better than last night. Last night's. Oh my god! Sorry, it just scrolls so fucking slow. 27.
She kind of looks around and she says, well, I try not to go by it or try to go near it, especially at night. It's just strange noises. Every once in a while, you'll hear somebody call out for help. Be it I've heard an older man's voice. I've heard a young woman. A lot of people, they tell me that they hear the sounds of children. It's very strange, but I know where it's coming from, and I don't go investigate. I've had the guards look at it before, and they said they found nothing, and I don't want to go anywhere near it. And it's 2 warehouses that way. Just don't go over there. I know it's a strange place, but and she just kind of again makes a sign to kind
Yeah.
of ward off whatever evil might be there.
Do you trust the guards here? Everywhere else I've been, I have. They've done a really good job of taking care of people, but it's weird that they haven't found anything.
She looks like slightly insulted at the insinuation that you don't trust the guards, and she says, of course I trust the guards. Of course I do. But they're not perfect. And,
Yeah.
sometimes, especially with the nobility, that lesser beings are afraid of them. and they don't show. So whatever it is lesser than a vampire, but powerful enough to prey on the rest of us, I suppose. If it is really something, maybe it's the guardsmen putting an illusion on it to keep people out. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Why would they do that?
There are ruffians from outside. Who knows? They might want to steal
Oh.
things. Maybe it's to keep people out.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I am
it
unsure of
seems
this.
strange.
I just warn you just to be careful. If there is such a thing,
It's spooky.
it is terrifying, yes.
Well, thank you.
Of course, of course. Thank you for the business. I appreciate you coming by. I look forward to seeing all of you again.
I'm sure we'll be back.
She nods and she kind of goes back to working with whatever she was grinding earlier. Okay, is there anything else you guys want to do in here, or you guys want to head on out?
I'm ready to head out.
I'm ready to head out. Yeah.
Ready to go.
Okay. So you guys head out, back out onto the street here, and I am going to.
I don't think I got any other.
So as you guys step out onto the street and you kind of head down toward this warehouse that she kind of told you was 2 buildings down, which Cyra kind of tracks with the things you had picked up rumor-wise. And Azalea, as you're kind of moving, all of you are moving down the docks. Azalea, you're kind of keeping a little bit more of an eye out than maybe the rest of your compatriots. And as you at least go to scout out the area, you see that the gnomish vessel, the big gold one, is a few piers kind of down. The fog is lifted just a little bit, so you can see a little bit further. But you see kind of a trio of sailing ships pretty close to one another. And this is strange to you, as all of these ships seem to have like holes in the side, but like purposeful holes, like windows. And you can't really see into them, Azalea, but you see that the crew working on these ships, like the 3 crews, seem to be weirdly cohesive, like the same type of group. There's a particular overabundance of both kobolds and dwarves here, in comparison to the normal Dampier local human and elf population that are kind of working on the ships and the docks. They're all also wearing a rather specific and extremely gaudy uniform. They're wearing these kind of like long-sleeved shirts, and they have these one big crimson, a big sky blue, and a big snow white like diagonal stripe from like the upper left to the lower right. It's like a really big, thick stripes. And the pants, you realize the pants, looking at them just around the dock and on the ship, are like fur-lined, which is way too hot for down here. Normally, you think that would probably be fine, but here, anyway, it's not great. And the fabric doesn't even match the diagonal stripes at the top. It's like really, really thin, like horizontal, like pinstripes almost. Like a crimson, a blue, and it's
That's
gaudy and
horrifying.
gross. Yeah, it's
Ew.
disgusting to
I
look
don't
at.
see it, but
Or you say it's a prison suit.
not quite.
worse.
Yeah. And sewn to the chests are it's big, bright sky blue shield with a white dragon on it. And they are by far the largest ships at the pier. They're, for those of you who are ship inclined, mostly Tor. They are large galleys. The rest of everything else is smaller than that, but these are large, multi-masted galleys. I guess Danny, you wouldn't know what that is. You haven't really dealt with ships very much. Azalea, you have seen ships of this size, and Azalea, you know ships of this size are warships. Period. But they're not armed with the normal either catapults or large bolt throwers or anything like that. You're not really sure what's going on with these ships, but they in particular stand out to you. They, however, are flying not the same shield and dragon as the uniforms suggest. They seem to fly the rose of the Blood Queen, and you do see a few like appears to be vampires kind of mixed in, but like very few. They seem to be like the officers, as it were. But yeah, as you're kind of like walking towards this warehouse, this just kind of hits you as something different is going on here.
I want to ask a random passerby if these ships are normally in port.
Well, Tor, you haven't even noticed it. It's just Tor, you would know what these ships are if Azalea were to point them out. So we're waiting.
Gotcha.
Azalea here
I
was about to point
misunderstood.
them out. Yep, sorry.
Nope.
I don't like him.
You don't like them.
Too big.
Do you point them out
Don't
to
like-
your brethren or?
Don't like what? What are you talking about, Azalea?
Shit, I wasn't talking to you. Fuck.
Well, I'm fine.
We're in a port town. The ships, obviously.
What ships? There's ships here?
Damn business. With the ships now having been highlighted, do we notice them?
Yes. Now that they've been highlighted as whatever is triggered this
Don't
weird
like 'em.
reaction out of Azalea.
Don't like them.
Don't like. Yep.
There are a lot of things to not like, so.
Those are the most hideous uniforms I've ever seen. And I've seen many uniforms.
Yeah, these are like disgusting. Like they're like really nasty.
Does anyone recognize the symbols?
Everybody can roll a society check if they want.
Yeah, I don't actually expect that I will, but why not?
Nope.
18.
It wasn't a 1, but nope.
Yeah, same.
Oof.
Like 11.
Uh-huh.
18?
23?
Okay. So, Azalea, with your background, and Cyra, with your background, Azalea, your upbringing kind of brought you into not necessarily contact with a lot of nations, but you had to be kind of aware of who people were or where they were from. And Cyra, you know this for a completely different reason. But Azalea, you know that that symbol, that specific blue, bright sky blue shield and the white dragon is the flag of Raverdare, a landlocked nation far to the northwest of here, which is probably explains the fur-lined pants, which combined with the not fur-lined shirts, even weirder. And yeah, you're not entirely. You realize that that country does not have a navy. They have no access to the ocean. Cyra, you know that they're from Raverdare, based on Raverdare was essentially a rebel state. Is still considered a rebel state in Draconia. There's an intense hatred of that nation.
We hate them.
Yep, you hate them. So you don't recognize the uniforms at all, but you recognize the emblem, and yeah, something is not right here. And both of you are fairly well triggered by that fact that there's something more going on here. And you're not sure what it
would be
is.
triggered.
They don't have a navy. What the fuck are they doing here? That's a mountainous state. No sea borders. Why do they have ships? What is...
Maybe they bought some.
We should talk. I want to talk to them.
Okay. Are you gonna stop? You're just gonna try to stop a passerby, Tor?
No, I'm gonna do my best to act natural, but it's gonna take everything in me not to immediately wander over and be like, "Hello, you fucking traitor heathens! What are you doing here?"
Curiosity intensifies.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Cyra starts twitching like.
We behave them. Okay, let's. Wow, I'm being distracted from the haunted warehouse. This is impressive. Is it for the best? Is it for worse? No one knows.
Who knows?
Someone else needs to make decisions. I'm going to make all bad ones right now.
We find them enjoyable, except for Azalea, who would find no decision enjoyable, even
Except
her
for
own.
the tea party. Except for the tea party. She longs.
No, she would.
longs
She
for
would
the tea
not have
party.
found that enjoyable after it happened.
I just said it was a better one.
She longs for the tea party.
I just think it would have been
We
better.
could take her
I
back.
don't- Just better.
So, what
I'm
is
sure the
closer
tea party
to
will
me?
catch up to us.
Are there any sailors in hideous fur-lined pants anywhere near me?
They all seem to be on or about the ships.
Mm.
You got the nearest one would be maybe 150 feet, 200 feet away, like out on a pier.
Way too far away.
They're just kind of random passerby mostly at this point.
Alright,
There's
fine.
some Sailors Guild folks. And then just regular citizens just kind of walking about. You see some guards every once in a while, just kind of doing rounds, but they're not particularly. They're not bothering anybody. They're just kind of looking around, making sure nobody's doing anything crazy.
Oh, the guards. I thought you
Yeah,
meant
the guards.
sailors. I was
No.
like, no, the sailors bother me.
uh,
I am deeply bothered by these sailors. All right.
so you guys are at an impasse here, as you are both in front of the alleged haunted warehouse and in front of these ships.
Okay, looking at the warehouse, what do we see?
Split the party. Split the.
No.
Oh god.
What do you guys see? That is a great question.
Oh, you'll see what
So-
I see.
So, Tor, with your previous experience from ships, you were kind of enamored with these large ships. And Cyra, you are kind of stuck between curiosity and like just this deep-founded rage that's just kind of like clearly you've grown up with, that was kind of taught to you. Whereas, so you guys are not paying any sort of attention. Danny and Azalea, however, kind of keeping their mind on the original intention of being down here now that you've gone shopping. The warehouse before you is not guarded. It's empty. The area around it is empty. There's nobody standing around. There's no work going in or out. The sailors do their best to like walk as close to the water as possible. You guys are like the closest ones to the warehouse, and you're still like 50, 60 feet away. There's a pair of large front doors, not apparently locked, and there's a smaller door on the left of it. Well taken care of. The building doesn't seem to be any sort of like disrepair. There's nothing falling apart. There's nothing falling in. It's mostly stone, though it looks like kind of upper half of the building and the roof are made of like some sort of wood. The cobbles around the warehouse are kind of slick with moisture, just like everything else is here. And Danny and Azalea, you can kind of see there's some high up windows, and it doesn't appear like there's nothing like lighting the interior up. It's very dark. There don't seem to be any symbols on it. There's nothing denoting who owns the place. It is just a building.
Should we just go knock on the door?
Can you see
What?
if there's anything magical close by?
Who are you asking?
Cyra, the one who does magic. Who else am I going to ask about magic?
Enchanted and enraged by the boats. Give me a second. All right,
I'm gonna-
fine.
I'm gonna put
Fine.
On the head. Can you?
I-
Can you
Just fine.
this
There's
way?
we just have to do something about the boats. All right, fine. I'm gonna detect magic.
So Danny, as she is kind of grumpy and trying to cast detect magic, you put your fingers to your head. What are you doing?
I'm detecting magic. Ooh,
Neither Cyra nor Danny detect any sort of magic.
dang it.
Okay. I want
tried.
to. What is the setup like? The back of the building.
Okay. It is a longer building, maybe
Okay.
100 foot long, maybe 50 wide. ish. And as you guys kind of make your way, are all of you going around the back? Is it just Cyra? Like, is anybody following
Okay, so
her?
I'm just gonna like tell you my plan, my initial plan, so that you know kind of what I'm trying to ask.
Go ahead.
I want to like trick or convince a guard to go into the building with me. And my current plan is to pretend that I'm a child playing with a toy, that like a ball flew into the building and only the guards can go in safely. So I want to see, can I set up this plan? If there may be no way to set this up reasonably. And I'll just like confess that like, I know I shouldn't be playing now by the docks, but you're the only person that can go in safely and not be turned mute. Will you, and like literally reach up a hand for them to like walk in with me. That's my
Okay.
plan.
Interesting. Okay.
Is there any way to
Bold
like
move.
set this up in any kind of like sensible way? Can I pretend that I was a child playing a place where children might play?
You can try
and my ball
anything.
flew into the-
You can try anything.
No, I want to say, can I sell that as a reasonable story?
You can
as
sell
like-
anything if you use your words well
If
enough.
you roll high enough. What is the layout of behind the building? Is there like an open field where children might play?
It
there,
looks
like-
like there's other buildings. A lot of housing
Oh.
seems to be in the back. There's some streets over there, probably, from what you can see, kind of just without actually going back there.
Yeah. Okay. Then I don't really have a good setup for this. Huh?
Can I use a seek action to find an unconventional way into the building?
Sure. Yes, you may. Roll a perception check.
How tall are the windows? Are they like where I could see in, or I could lift Danny up to see in? Or
I will
even,
answer that in just a moment. See what Azalea has, and then we'll go from there.
24.
Yeah. So the windows are maybe 15 feet up. And as you kind of look around trying to formulate a plan here, and Cyra's trying to, the cogs are going in Cyra's head. Tor, you're thinking about maybe hoisting up Danny or something like that. Azalea, you spy a stack of boxes, of crates, kind of on the far left side of the building on the back end. And there's actually an open window. So yeah, it looks like there's an unconventional way in. So either Tor, yes, to answer your question, you could probably hoist Danny up and like maybe he could like kind of pull himself over the ledge, but there's also boxes you could just climb up, or you could go to the front door like Danny had suggested.
I'm
So
not going to tell them where I'm going. I'm just going to start sneaking.
roll a stealth check.
Shit.
How much?
I think 17.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that bad.
So Danny and Tor, you just kind of watch Azalea slink toward the back of the building, and Cyra, you're just so wrapped up in trying to figure out what your plan is, that you don't notice Azalea kind of slink off. But yeah, Tor and Danny, you watch as she just kind of like starts heading off toward.
I kind of lean down to Danny and I whisper, I'm like, I think we should just let her go. I think she needs this. She needs to go feel important.
That's fair.
We'll let her have this one.
She looks awful sneaky.
Yeah. We'll act like we don't see her.
So Azalea, what's the plan here?
Oh, I don't have a plan. I'm just going to like go in and like really just look around. Like,
She's gonna pull a Cyra.
us.
You're gonna go in.
Us. One of us.
yeah, I'll try sneaking in.
Okay. So
He sank.
Cyra,
We'll try it.
as you kind of try to make a decision, you notice that that Azalea is gone. Danny and Tor are just kind of standing there with their arms crossed, just like watching the left side of the building. And Azalea, you get to this open window. You clamber up fairly quickly. It's fairly easy. It's just easy enough to almost like just walk in almost. And
What's the
can't-
guard distribution like right now?
you haven't seen a guard in maybe 5 minutes.
All right.
It's very misty and like your range is not that great. Maybe 50 to 100 feet.
Works for us too.
Yeah, you haven't seen a guard in a long time. Nobody's even bothered you guys. Don't forget that some of you are unarmed. So that's right. You got 2 guns.
Disgusting.
And Azalea, you're at the top of the window here. You can't see at all. It's super dark in here. Do you drop in, or are you just waiting?
Do you drop
You
in?
need to speak louder or get closer to the mic.
She's muted, so
Also that
doesn't
would do it.
Hey, call me Dragon. So
If she speak louder, you'd hear her upstairs.
That's
Yeah,
true.
don't-
Yeah. Get wrecked, nerd.
I'm gonna like poke my head in.
You gonna
Yeah, like basically, just my head.
okay.
Try to look around.
And so as you're kind of like looking, it's hard to see really anything. But as you kind of try to look around, you can kind of see the ground. It's like a stone floor. It's like stone tiles. You see what looks like a bunch of boxes, and then a small, like a ball, just kind of like rolls out of the darkness and kind of up against the wall where you're at.
Someone already has my plan.
Guys, I don't like it. I don't like this. I'm gonna back out. I don't.
You just hear a whisper, kind of like as you turn around and go to leave. You hear a whisper right in your ear. It's like, come play with me.
He just wants to have
Kind of
tea.
like, and then it kind of the cold air kind of dissipates around you as you like scamper away from it.
Definitely dead child. I'm gonna leave now. Nope. Bye. I choose life.
Yeah. So
My
Dan
pizza's here.
Oh,
Or we'll be up at the door in like 3 minutes. I just
okay.
saw him drive by.
You know what we're gonna do? It's actually a good time
Cheers.
to take a break. We'll come back in 10 minutes. 10 minutes at 50.
I just want to point out there's a serum of sex shift if anybody wants to be a different sex than they currently
It's
are.
true.
How long does it last?
Forever.
Forever.
It is a permanent item.
No, I feel like having options.
Well, sure, you can just
Oh,
get
there it
another
is.
one and swap it back. So anyway,
Suppose.
10 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, at this point, Azalea has returned to the group after having been unnerved by the thing in the warehouse.
Hold a dragon. Dead child.
I just wanted
Danny?
tea.
Dead child.
Did you see a dead child?
No, they rolled a ball, and then there was a whisper when I turned around. I said, "Come play with me," which is like a child. And then I said, "No," and then I left.
Rad rum.
Was it in common?
I am.
It was in common.
Were they on tricycles? In a hotel.
She said I didn't.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So maybe my
Fidgeted
plan
it for a second. I was like, "Why would you say that?"
I think maybe my plan to pretend to be a child is not as good a plan, or better, but not better for me plan.
Do I see any like suckers walking around? Somebody we could convince to go in there?
Just a couple of sailors walking around.
I thought
Some of them look kind of dumb. Yeah. They're just gonna try to find somebody to go in there for you.
No, I'm thinking about it, and in fact, I'll ask everybody else. Hey, do you think we should pay someone off and make them walk in there for us?
That's
Just don't help a lot, because what if they go mute, but they can't write, and so they can't tell us anything?
uh-huh.
do you have a
could
spell
put
for
a
that?
blindfold on them and make them feel around.
Why are we assuming they have to see
You
the
really
thing?
don't. Just give me the blindfold, and I can like.
What if it's not seeing the thing?
Isn't it seeing the thing? Maybe I'm.
We don't
maybe I'm
know
wrong.
that.
Oh,
I mean, I'll put a blindfold on you and let you walk in.
no, not me.
With me. I'm not going by myself.
But you hate people.
Yeah, I know, but like I also don't want to be like mute. Tor can come with me.
What? I don't,
Uh,
no? Not yet?
Suddenly now it's not okay to volunteer you, but when Cyra does it, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's the whole group to go do things.
Sarah hasn't cut your rope off.
I think I mostly volunteer me to go do things.
in the middle of this conversation, I am going to walk away, and I'd like to knock on the door really loud and see
I'm
if there's
so
any
excited.
response.
Okay, so you guys are kind of having this little argument,
I'm
and
Yeah.
gonna use the butt of my hand crossbow when I knock.
and,
you know.
and
You're
Danny,
gonna show your hand crossbow.
doom, doom, and
And then I'm gonna quickly put it away.
um, okay. Luckily, as you had
It's not
approached the
here.
door, I had previously rolled a perception check for all of you, and you did not perceive any guards in the local area.
Yes.
That doesn't mean there weren't any.
Also
and,
true.
yeah,
I'm not a citizen. Why does it matter?
it boom, boom, boom. It's hollow and it kind of echoes on the inside. And there's not really any response. And all of you, like, as you're arguing, you hear this and you just stop and look to Danny, who's at the door, who puts his crossbow away. And Danny, you step back maybe like 2 or 3 feet. And you don't hear anything. But the door opens outward slightly towards you on very quiet hinges.
Ah, it's loose. The door's loose. It opened. See? We should.
I think she
we
wants to
should
have
go-
tea
we
with
should
you,
go in.
Azalea.
Yeah. I'll even supply the tea.
DM, I would like to commit murder.
Just one murder, or are we just like
It's collective.
Oh.
I mean,
Can I
you can roll for
peer
anything.
in? Crack
Sure.
open the door. And peek in?
Is there something that you're looking for in particular?
Spooky shit.
Roll a perception check for me.
Who you gonna call?
Okay, in retrospect, you guys, we should have
Ghostbusters.
made weirder and creepier noises.
Danny, because you two are going to leave me to die.
What?
All three to go in.
23.
Yeah, we didn't get anything you said there.
Sorry,
Azalea.
only you left me to die.
We need to get you a
Yeah, you two
headset.
are going to leave me to die. Danny's my only friend.
When were we gonna leave you to die?
Just now!
so,
You're the one that
I
wanted to
was
go
gonna
in
push
blindfolded.
I was gonna help you execute your plan. I am here for you. I am supporting you.
so Danny, when Danny gets a second. Yep. Okay, so as Danny's peering in, is anybody gonna like walk over to him? You guys are like 20, 30 feet away. You've been like inching slightly closer and closer to this warehouse as time has gone on.
Yes, but I will not be where I can peer in to
Okay.
the door.
Yeah, I rolled a 23.
Yeah, so Danny, it's dark inside, weirdly enough. But you can see just a little bit further on. There's some like torches by the docks and whatnot for light. And you see that this warehouse is a lot of like boxes and crates stacked up to maybe 25 feet tall. And as far as you can tell, it's one big room. Like the middle of the warehouse seems to be like clear, as if you can drive like carts through, but like the left and right side seems to have a lot of crates. And as you are looking in, you don't really hear anything, but you do kind of right by the door, kind of at your feet actually. You see like a little straw like figurine, like a doll, just kind of there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick that up.
Okay.
Voodoo.
Do I have to go all the way into the room to get to it, or is it close to
no,
the
no.
door?
It's like you could lean through the doorway to get it.
Yeah, so I'll grab that.
So as you kind of reach down to grab it, and Tor, you kind of like you're coming up behind Danny, and Cyra and Azalea, you kind of like are moving in that direction as well. Go ahead,
Sort
Tor.
of ready reaction to grab him in case he moves involuntarily forward.
Okay. Yeah, and so Danny, you also hear a voice, kind of a small child's voice. This time in Undercommon, however, and it says, "Oh, you want to play with me? That's so wonderful! Please come play." And it's kind of like you hear it like behind you almost. It's real weird. You don't like fall forward or anything like that, but you have this doll in your hands now.
Can I show the doll to everybody? I'm just gonna show everybody, like, hey, this is spooky.
Yeah, you just like turn around like ah.
It wants to play.
I already said that.
Yeah, but I mean, should we play with it?
Why did you touch the doll?
Well, it's a straw doll. What? I mean, is it magical? Here, you take it.
I'm not touching it. Is it magical? I will cast detect magic.
No, it's just a doll.
Oh, it is just a doll. I don't know if that's creepier.
I'm gonna take it. Just a doll.
I'm gonna leave. I have bad feels about this. I'm gonna slowly step back.
But wait, we do this. What's the point? Why are we doing that? We're trying to help out the gnome guys who can give us a really cool ride on their jet powered.
Hey,
Ship.
remember how we talked about maybe we don't say everything all the time in all places?
I'm just gonna look
We've
around.
had the conversation a couple times. So I'm hoping you remember at least one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Love it, love it, love it. Let's have this conversation later.
yeah.
Elsewhere.
As you guys are
Maybe we should safely find out who she is from here.
Maybe she'll come outside.
Yes.
you guys are
I can
having
throw a
this
sun rod in
discussion.
there.
You guys are having this discussion, and like the same ball that you had seen Azalea just comes like rolling out the door, like very slowly, and just kind of like
I'm creeping away further. I'm moving.
just like
No.
kind of hits the back of Tor's foot and just kind of like stops.
I want to push it with my foot towards Azalea. Here's your ball.
I'm gonna kick it back inside.
Give me an athletics check.
I don't know. 1 second. You said acrobatics?
Athletics.
Nope.
Athletic. 10. I rolled a 5.
Okay. And so, surprisingly enough, you managed to just whack it through the door, and it's like a leather, not quite a soccer ball, but it's like leather and filled with like straw or something, and it's just like it just disappears into the dark doorway, and you hear a thunk, and you hear a crate kind of crash open as you hit something and knocked it over.
Deeply unsettled.
And you all just kind of like stop and look around for a second.
Coming out of your paycheck.
Nothing else. Like, there are a couple of sailors that like see you and just like fucking book it, and they're like, they've heard about this warehouse. They don't want to be anywhere near it, and they're just gone.
Can I look? Do I see any guards yet?
Nope, you do not.
What?
I mean, I could throw a sun rod. We can see better inside. I mean, we can see pretty well.
Cast dancing
It's
lights inside. Oh, sorry.
it's
There you go.
dark.
Dancing lights. Is easy.
You can't see more than like 15, 20 feet inside. And yeah, I mean, if you can't see dancing lights, then you'll obviously be able to see most of the interior with your dark vision.
I'm going to do that.
I'm gonna specifically close my eyes and keep them closed before this happens.
I'm not looking in. I'm right there behind the door, though.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking in. I'm like,
Absolutely. I don't. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna cast dancing lights inside.
Okay, so you cast them inside. And how close to the doorway are you gonna get, Cyra?
Dude,
and...
I'm not getting within 15 feet of the doorway.
Yeah, so you
I'm
can't
not
see almost anything because you cast it in. Your line of sight only goes so far, and you cast it up against some crates essentially. The entryway seems to be maybe 10, 15 feet wide in each, like long and wide in each direction before there's any crates or anything. You can see that what Azalea had knocked over, she had kicked it at such a high angle it had gone up and knocked a small crate down off the top and had kind of tumbled. And it looks like there's some like metal parts for something just kind of like strewn about on the floor. But you can't see any further into the room. Tor, you're nowhere near it. Azalea, you've got your eyes closed. Danny, you're at the doorway still. Are you like looking in? Or are you trying to investigate? Yeah. Okay.
yep, I'm gonna peek in.
Okay.
No, just stop rolling dice.
Yeah, it's interesting as you kind of look in here. It lights up most of the warehouse. like I said, the center seems to be like an open, almost like a continuation of the cobblestone street to move carts through. And there's no carts or anything sitting in there. You see some crates. You actually see what looks like tables, and some stacks of barrels and stuff like that. And in the far back corner of the room, you see what looks like it may be an office or something like that. You see like a protuberance in the wall, like kind of sticking out. So it's not one uniform room. It's like one large room and a tiny room in the corner. You also see what looks to be some goods stacked behind like iron bars on the right side. Something has been locked behind some iron bars. Now
What?
you can't really
God damn it, I don't know.
see what it is, or what any of it is. It seems mostly to be crates and stuff. Yeah, what do you wanna do?
Is everything in there like dusty and old, or is it all clean and?
It's looks like it's got maybe 2 or 3 weeks worth of dust on it, which is not a lot considering it's a moist environment. It's kind of gross. There's some cobwebs and stuff like that.
Maybe we need a priest. I mean,
Danny, you can still speak.
well, yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's good. I was worried.
And as you have that little exchange, you hear another voice. All of you hear it in common, and all of you hear it just kind of like just over your shoulder. And you hear a like a man's voice. You hear, "Help, please, help me."
Ah!
Yeah,
Hey,
we
Danny,
need.
I'm just going to warn you specifically. Please don't do anything dumb or embarrassing, because if I can find a guard, I'm bringing them inside, and I don't want them to like see us do anything embarrassing. Just be
Like
warned.
break chests open.
Uh,
I kind of meant use a weapon, but also that.
oh yeah, okay. Sorry,
Remember?
I'm not a citizen, so I don't know why this matters. But okay,
Danny, come here. I need to whisper something to you. Come here.
Do you come?
yeah, of course. Yep.
I'm going to whisper in your ear.
You're a fucking idiot.
Da-da-da-da-da.
And so
Here's the thing. If you're not a citizen, you ought to have a badge, or they can do whatever they want to you, okay? We have to pretend that we're citizens. They have to think, the guards included, need to think that we're citizens, okay?
Okay, we're citizens. We're citizens now.
So
Everyone,
Danny,
everyone.
as Cyra is kind of up in your face about this, Azalea, you still have your eyes closed. Danny, you're just surprised that he's not lost his voice. But it's really hard to concentrate on Cyra, as Danny, there's another doll, like a rabbit, like a stuffed rabbit. It's kind of like floating behind Cyra's head, like mimicking her angry
Whoa.
movements.
That's magic.
None of you had seen where it came from. It's just like, Tori, you don't even notice it. Azalea, again, you can't see anything. But Danny, like, Cyra's got no idea because it's behind her. It's not making any noise. But Danny, you see it. It's really hard to concentrate on what she's saying.
Okay, I'm going to continue scooting back because I trust nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, look
Do I
over your
hit
shoulder.
the bunny?
Look, check it out.
Do I hit the bunny
And
as I
so,
back
so
up?
as you back up and go to turn to see what Danny's pointing at, you just like it just like sits on your shoulder.
I scream,
Yeah.
just with all my tiny little kobold terror, and I throw it off.
Yeah, you grab it, you throw it. Make an athletics check.
Oh, nice.
Boop, boop, boop. Oh. 16.
Do we
My
see what
modifier
she's
is a
screaming
negative
at?
1.
Oh yeah, so she screams. Azalea, you open your eyes. Tor, you see this as she grabs this. What did you roll?
I rolled a 16. I'm not going to grab it. I'm literally just going to fling it.
Yeah, so you do your best to kind of like get it away from you, and it seems to be under something else's control as it goes maybe like 5 feet away from you, and it comes back and it goes to sit on like Danny's shoulder. And Tor, so you're seeing this. Azalea, you're seeing what the hell she's screaming at. There's a doll floating in midair. It's really weird. It's not the same doll Danny had picked up.
No, I'm gonna keep my eyes closed. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder what could do this.
I'm just gonna continue screaming. Do I see any guards yet? Have I created enough of a commotion?
So Cyra, as you're screaming and shouting, there's a bunch of people looking at you, mostly sailors, and they're just trying to stay away from you. But you do hear the sound of armored feet kind of clanking down the road towards you.
Okay.
We should go.
No, this is exactly what we need.
Oh, I thought we weren't citizens, so we need to stay away from the guards.
I had a brief moment of calm because my plan was coming together an accident, and then he just kicked it, shattered it. Do I see the guards yet?
It takes him another minute, but two guardsmen come running around the corner.
You're the only ones that they won't get. There was 2 dolls and a ball and voices. Please, what is happening in the building? It was on my shoulder, and then I threw it off, and then it went and sat on my friend.
Roll a diplomacy check.
Is that doll still on Danny's shoulder?
It's gonna make us look crazy. 22.
I was 100% gonna make you look crazy as not only is the straw doll that Danny picked up gone, but the rabbit is gone. The ball is inside. Your panic. The dancing lights are gone. It's just a dark doorway, and the guards are just
this screaming kobold child.
They both have these long pole arms, and they're looking at you guys
Please,
what?
just walk through the building with us.
What are you?
We heard
with
the voices.
Do you work
Yes.
here?
No, you're the only ones that they won't hurt.
And they kind of look at each other and they're like, "What? What?"
Please. It's terrifying. It just whispers to you.
So
and
one
it
of
put a
them
doll on my shoulder.
One of them hands his pole arm to the other guy, and he just leans down and grabs you by the shoulders, and he says, "Shut up." And he lets go of you. I need you to make a will
hate
save.
him.
Actually, no, you don't need to make a will save.
hate him.
That's not how this works anymore. Yeah, no, you're you're so terrified of this that his intimidation doesn't stop you from making noises, and he's just all right, fine, and he just all of you can see that both of these guards want to hit her really badly, but they're not going to. As
Not me. I'm blissfully unaware with my eyes closed.
That's fair. And they all look over you in real confusion, just there's a lot of weird going on here, and they one of them steps through the doorway, and the other one stands outside, and the first one goes in, and the second one, he's standing outside. He says he's wearing this full plate mail. It's the same colors and filigree and stuff like that of the guys that Azalea and Tor had seen the night before. And he says, "Look, there's nothing wrong with this warehouse. None of us understand what you're going on about. There's nothing here. It's just a warehouse. There's boxes inside, and sometimes things fall over. And you know what? Sometimes in the mist, things can echo, and it sounds very strange. We understand, but there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. And there's already one inside. And he's talking to, there's a crowd that has gathered at this point. And they're not talking to you at all, Cyra, at this point. They've already given up on you. And they're the rest of them is there's nothing going on. There's nothing here. Some folk just need a little bit more rest. I understand that the mist is very confusing sometimes, but there's nothing here. So please go about your business, and don't cause any public disturbances." And now he looks at Cyra very pointedly. Yeah, the other guy is still inside. While this is going on, is there anything any of you want to do?
One of them's inside the
Yeah,
warehouse?
one of them went inside. Yep.
Please go inside with him. Please follow him inside. See what there is.
He's just ignoring you, Cyra. Just you're already crazy. He's already written you off.
I'm just.
Danny, tell the guard what you saw, kind of back up Cyra, and I'll peek inside,
Okay.
and I'll go inside.
Guard. Hey, guard.
He looks down at you and he says, "Are you crazy too?"
No.
Not yet.
I mean, I saw like normal things in there. I guess like it was a doll that was not magical or anything, just a straw doll. It's kind of creepy, right?
No, my daughter has a doll made of straw. I made it for her. Are you saying that's creepy?
Well, maybe.
Do you leave them in empty warehouses? That would be a little weird.
He's just not. He's talking to Danny. He's just,
I don't exist
Yeah.
anymore.
you're a non-factor.
Let's put it this way: if there was, like a ghost or spirit or something like that, I mean, would you even say that's real, or
Yes.
are
of
you
course
trying to
they're
keep
real.
everybody calm?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
they're
go-
real.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course they
good.
are.
Awesome, sweet. Yeah. So
There's plenty of things that are real. Why would I tell you that?
maybe-
Why would I say no? If anything, I would tell kids that there's ghosts in here so they didn't come in here. But
well,
in this
see, I didn't know
case,
it, like.
I don't think there's nothing in here. We've investigated this for the past 3 weeks. There's nothing going on.
Oh, well, it wants to play with someone, and it's probably ignoring you because you're a guard, and guards are,
Busy.
guards. Busy. There you go. You're very busy.
Uh-huh. Roll a diplomacy check.
That's fair.
This is why I left you to speak to him.
And so,
We'll go with a 2. Oh wait! I do have.
you have a hero
untrained-
point if you wanna re-roll
Well,
it.
I've also got untrained improvisation, so let's see.
Ooh.
That sounds exciting.
Improvisation, Pathfinder 2E.
If I promise to say no words, will you let me walk into the building while the other guard is inside? I'll never speak to you again.
Doesn't look at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hero point this one.
Okay.
We're gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
It's not a whole lot better, but 10.
Okay. So as you're having this conversation, Tor, you said you step inside, behind the guard. The guard doesn't stop you, as he's having this conversation with Danny. Danny, he doesn't look like he's gonna eat you, but he doesn't seem entirely too pleased by this whole thing. And so it's dark inside. And as you kind of step through that first guardsman strikes a torch, and he's got a light. And yeah, it's more boxes. Would you like to see what the inside of the building looks like?
Yes.
All right. But yeah, there's a few like tables. There's a lot of boxes and things like that stacked up. For the purposes of this, if anything is here, I will explain it to you, and if you have questions about height and whatnot, we'll go from there. I want to put this right there, and then I will
That's
come
a good
around.
box.
It is a good box. It's a very nice box. There are many very nice
I
boxes
like your
here.
box.
Many boxes here. As I come to adjust all of these things, I have so many wires. It's okay.
You tangled up like a mummy.
Wee.
Ooh, fancy.
Fancy.
What is in that dice? I'm sorry, that die.
What is
The
in
marshmallow.
the die? What do you mean?
It looks like it has a pattern and something stuck inside it.
No. It's
It's
just
probably just the pattern.
the pattern. Come on, focus.
I fear the die.
It's okay. There we go. Good enough.
Who's inside?
So Tor and one of the guards is inside. Ugh.
I'm going to, if he doesn't stop me, I'm going to very slowly walk inside, making no sounds.
Oh, he is
walking
absolutely going to stop you as
Okay.
you
Okay,
are
I
you
will
are
not fight him.
the resident crazy lady, and he just throws.
Okay, I will not fight him. I made a deal and he didn't say no, so I was going to hope for yes.
He throws
Now I'm
just a pole arm across
Okay.
across your path. So Tor and the guardsman kind of went through the front door here, and so yeah, you guys. It's yeah. So there's some crates and stuff and boxes piled up. So these are much higher than they actually appear. Maybe 25 feet tall-ish. These tables are about the right size. It looks like there's another room back here, which I'll adjust the camera as we get over there. This is a big thing of crates, and then there's like more crates inside this kind of like locked cell area.
I see that box that fell.
Yeah, there's a box that's in front of you that has kind of spilled stuff over, which I will put down. There's a bunch of just metal parts there. It looks. There you go. It kind of blends in a little bit, but it is what it is.
And I'm guessing the straw ball is not there.
It is not. It is gone. The guard's just kind of like looking around. He doesn't really see anything, so he's just gonna kind of move toward the center of the building.
Oh.
What's that?
Can I peek in? Am I watching any of this?
You're like you can kind of see through the door behind the
Oh.
guard. You can kind of peer around him.
I want to walk to the door and yell something.
You can
I can't
yell
wait.
around the guard. The guard is in the doorway.
I cannot wait.
Can
What
I
are you
duck
gonna
down and
yell?
kind of yell between his legs?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Totally normal thing people do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell something like, "Hey, play with me! I want to play! Hello, we have friends. Play!
Roll.
See, look, watch." And I'll tell the guard like, "See, watch."
Roll a diplomacy check.
I believe in you. I believe in you. Oh my god, please.
Ooh, 15.
Oh, that's pretty good, honestly.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. So as you kind of shout this out, it kind of echoes in this empty warehouse. There's no reply. Both of the guards turn and look at you like, kind of give you this like, what the fuck kind of look. That's about it. That's about it on that end.
So I tried.
Try it in Undercommon. It
Now
worked last time.
I'll look at the guard. Does he look like he's gonna stab me if I do it?
He looks kind of annoyed. Take that as you will.
I'll just say in Undercommon, play with me. Like there's like say play with me.
Nope. No response. As you kind of shout this into the void, and the guard at the door says, all right, enough. You people need to leave. All of you, all four of you. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you come from. If you cause any more trouble, then expect to spend the night in the cells. Get out of here.
I don't know what we saw, but I definitely saw a straw ball and a couple of straw little figures or something. I don't know where they went.
And that the first guard kind of comes over to you. He just kind of like gives you kind of a half-assed kind of smile and a little smirk. Says, "Oh yes, I very much believe you." And he just like ushers you out the door.
I just kind of grip my hands.
Yep.
I'm even pissed.
Yep.
Really pissed off now.
And so they stand at the door, and they close it, and they are standing there waiting for you to disperse.
Would
I'm
I
gonna
be
go-
aware of any type of like creature that would? Is there something it has that? Or is there something that we have that it wants that like a Damford wouldn't necessarily be able to give it? Like I don't know if it's like doesn't like other undead things.
Make
or,
a religion check.
like fuck.
Can I roll an occult
No.
check?
You may not. You may roll a religion check.
Oh, okay, but I could also roll a
I'm pretty
religion
sure
check.
it's 10. It's 12.
Ooh.
You have
Ooh,
no
it's
idea.
5.
You also have no idea.
You have wrong ideas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm thinking like this something definitely could I try to like hey, I heard a small child. Can we do a quick run through to make sure a child isn't like stuck in the warehouse cuz like little mischievous kids, rascals.
Are you going to say that to the guard?
Round them up. Yeah, sure, why not? What's the worst they can say? No, and then I leave still like
Make
alright,
a diplomacy check.
hey, It sounded like a child. Believably, I
Yeah,
could
a
just say, like,
diplomacy
I
check.
think there's a child. I think there's a child stuck in there. I heard something.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, a
So
diplomacy
I'm not
check.
saying
Go
it's
on.
a ghost. I'm saying it's believably like a little real human child maybe is stuck in
I
there.
am not arguing with you. Give me a diplomacy check.
I think 18. I don't think I have a modifier. Oh, I have a 19.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
I get a +1.
high roller.
And they just
Yeah.
narrow their eyes. And they say, "Get out of here now."
Okay, I'm just saying I heard a child, but I mean I'll leave it to you. That's okay. Bye.
Which side was the box of crates on?
So most of the
Oh, dude, they're watching us. You gotta come back in. Why are you like this?
most of the
Say
crates
my head.
are like on the left side here.
I meant on the outside for the window.
Oh, also on the left side. It's like kind of like
Oh, okay.
over
I definitely have that
ish
reversed in my
here,
head. Yeah.
over here-ish.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
just
not
grab,
helpful when the camera just automatically swaps the. Anyway, it's fine.
Oh no,
Yeah.
my brain doesn't work with both directions. You know that.
Also true. Go ahead, Tor.
Oh, okay. If it was like on the other side, I was gonna just lead them over there so we could go right into it. But I'll just grab Danny and Cyra's hands, and I'll be like, "All right, we're gonna go now," and we'll walk until we're out of their sight, past the mist.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long to do that.
I'm kind of mad, and when I think I am like right on the edge of their hearing, I'm gonna say, Captain Mahale would never have treated us like this.
Interesting choice.
They're not gonna have any idea who it is. I just know I'm being petty, but I'm mad.
You are being petty. That is true. Okay.
But I'll continue walking with no other issues.
Yep.
We could
Another
just go hang out at the tavern for like an hour or two and then come back. Like,
Let's go to the Ocean
I like
Breeze
that because
Tavern.
I'd like to bring a weapon back with me
Oh, okay.
before I go in there.
You don't want to go in there unarmed?
If I promise to just sit at the window, will you guys leave me at the Ocean Breeze Tavern? I want to watch the ships. Okay, I'll just sit at the window. I'm gonna sit there and watch the ships.
Okay.
Nobody's
Well,
taught
it's
me.
nice knowing you.
Well, I'm just sitting at a tavern. You guys are rude.
You're gonna be shanghaied.
I will not. I'm too annoying for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, you. Azalea, where are you going?
I'm going to the tavern because I think
Which one?
The one that was close by the shops because it's closest to the warehouse, right?
Okay,
Yeah, so
you're gonna go with.
good. I'm
You're
not
gonna
even
go with Cyra.
unsupervised.
Okay.
Yeah, because like at this point, if we want to go back and actually investigate, then we need to lay low for at least long enough for them to go away. So staying at a tavern is like a normal human thing to do. So.
Danny, what are you going? You going with Tor to go get your weapons?
Well, I guess I
I mean, you
lied
mostly have
and
yours,
brought
but
my weapons
Yeah.
with me. So
Yeah.
it's like you already have yours, but
yeah, I'll go with Tor.
okay.
Just to
I'm
keep
just gonna
it
get the
going.
magical axe. I think that way, hopefully, it's a little easier to conceal.
Okay. So you guys head back up the cliffs. It's a little bit more of a climb than you remember going down. It's a little bit harder going up. And it takes you guys some time, a good 30, 40 minutes to get up the hill and back to the Hot Cliffs Inn. And the gentleman behind the counter, the dwarf, he kind of just waves at you guys. You guys head back up to tour your room to grab your item. And you just give me a stealth check or a thievery check, whichever one.
19.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to, you think, successfully hide your axe.
I always think that.
You always think it. Now whether it's the
Yeah.
case, but that's what you think anyway.
Yeah.
So is there anything you guys want to do while you're here, or do you guys just want to head back down?
Is there anything else we need, Danny? I've got the old Betsy here.
No, really just enjoying the walk.
All right. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. So I'll have my armor on, and I'll have the magic war axe with me.
Okay. Perfect. Easy enough.
And then we'll meet back up with them at the other tavern.
Okay,
and
so
see what that one looks like.
you other two, you guys walk into the other tavern here, the Ocean
The Ocean
Breeze
Breeze Tavern.
Tavern, and it's larger than the one up at the top of the cliffs, mainly to house many sailors and other people who don't want to stay with the Sailors Guild facilities. Um, and there are a number of long tables inside. There's actually two bars, which you realize is like one's a alcohol bar and one is you can like pick up your food there sort of deal. It's a kitchen behind it. Um, but for the most part, you see there's a couple of serving girls around. There's a lot of sailors in here. It's like midday-ish. People are kind of having their midday lunch. You see what appears to be the owner, who's just kind of behind the bar, the alcohol bar. A human man. He's kind of pale. He's got his black hair kind of slicked back into a ponytail. He's got this very large, like black waxed mustache. And it seems to be that he enjoys the color black, as he's wearing a black apron over a black shirt with black pants and black boots. That just seems to be his color scheme. It seems to be a little bit more expensive down here. 3 copper pieces for a meal, but it seems to be the same amount of food. It's just, seems to maybe want to gouge the sailors a little bit more. There's kind of a mixed crowd in here. There's some non-badged people, some citizens, mostly humans and Dampier and half-elves. And you see some Undine as well. And then there's a good mix of people from the Sailors Guild, mostly Undine and humans, just kind of mingling and eating food and just generally having a pleasant time. Is there anything you're looking for specifically? Either you, Cyra, or Azalea? What are you guys doing? Sitting by a window?
Watch the ships.
Watching
Yeah,
the
I want
ships?
to watch the ships from quote unquote raw Verdaire.
Okay. Azalea, what are you trying to do?
I don't want to ask questions, but I want to listen to see if people are talking about them because they're big ships and it's unusual. So I want to see if it's maybe it's not unusual for this
Okay.
place in town. I don't know, but I want to see if anyone's talking about it.
I need Cyra to roll a perception check. I need Azalea to roll a society check.
Wow, wow, wow. 16.
Okay.
24 for society.
Okay. So, Azalea, you're just being very careful to sitting with Cyra, kind of mind the chatter that's going on. And it seems that none of these people that are in here are crew on any of these ships. And it's just far enough down that you can't see 2 of the 3. You can only see one of them. And it's kind of strange that these ships are here. But nobody is really talking about where the ships are from. It's just kind of, you hear a lot of talk about different trade ships, a lot of just mercantile talk, people talking about tonnage and different ores and different imports and exports of food, of different mushrooms. There seems to be specific talk about imports of iron ore and some other things. Doesn't really look like there's any like captains or any of those types of people in here. They seem to be mostly just sailors. You notice a number of different accents. You've kind of been able to pick that up. There's at least 1 or maybe 2 crews out of Carthos from here. There's a couple of crews probably out of let's see, I want to give you the correct thing here. Out of Kalinata, which is to the northwest. There's probably a few ships out of Fruinalor and Abrudi out to the east. And that's kind of like, they're relatively close nations. Anybody with either ocean or river access seems to be people from here. However, there is a crew of folk that are kind of a mix of, they're kind of sitting on their own. Tengu and Human, and they're seem to be from not anywhere nearby. That they're not a dialect or not dialect, but an accent that you recognize. Um, their form of common is just it's almost garbled to you, just the way they're talking. But if you listen, you can kind of pick it up. And it seems like they're from across the ocean somewhere, but you're not sure where. There is talk of different pirate attacks from Dverkinger. It seems that cargo raiding has forced a lot of ships here. A lot of ships don't necessarily want to come here. As far as sailors note, I'm sure that you're sure the captains are a different story. But a lot of the sailors are a little weirded out by this whole place, and they don't want to be here for very long. And then, so as you're kind of taking in all this conversation over 20, 30 minutes, Cyra, you are watching one ship, the one ship you can see. And you note, again, as you had noted earlier, that they're not flying Robert colors. Though the crew is wearing Robert colors, they are flying the Blood Queen's royal colors. And the ship that you can see is called the Vilnia.
Vilnia.
And the Vilnia seems to be the largest ship you've ever seen. You have very, very little experience with ships. Even in Draconia, you had seen them from afar, but here now,
Most people I would know could fly.
yeah, you didn't
If
need
you're
to worry
rich
about
enough
boats.
to have a ship. Yeah.
Boats are silly. they're for poor people. Which in your case happens to be true.
Me.
Yeah, and they seem to be the crews, those that aren't working actively on the ships, seem to be keeping people off of the pier, away from them. And as you kind of take note of all this, you see kind of a mixed group of people walk in. You see a kobold and a dwarf wearing those outrageous crimson, blue, and white uniforms. Step inside, both male, and then behind them, you see you would know what these. Actually, do you see that? No. Okay. So anyway, you see two people, a larger man. Large in the sense that he's kind of like wide and bulky. He's not fat. He's clearly like very well muscled underneath his cloak. He's fairly.
Just in addition to the kobold and the dwarf.
In addition to the kobold and the dwarf,
Okay.
they're kind of coming in at the same time, even though they don't seem to be like in a group. They just happen to be arriving at the same time. And fairly heavily like cloaked and shrouded, so you can't really see what he's wearing. Even you see a hint of like a blue tunic, and then his legs are like bare, but you see what looks to be fur of some kind of like a light brown with like black stripes, and then the person with them, also cloaked but not nearly as like shrouded.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
He is wearing fur, or he seems to.
His
have
legs
fur.
are
Seems
fur.
to
He
be
he
fur.
seems
Oh,
to be
okay, okay.
furry. There we go. Just
Okay.
clear that
okay.
up.
Sweet.
He seems
Yeah,
to
I
be
was like,
furry. I'm sorry.
Are they
That's
bare?
important.
Or are they furred? Okay.
His furred legs are bare of pants.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. He wears no pants. He grows his own fur.
Yes.
I feel
The
attacked.
second one.
The
The second one though.
second one is slightly shorter. So this man is maybe like 5'3", so short for a regular person. Still
Yeah.
taller than you, of course.
Massive compared to.
But this other person is a much more slight build, only about 5 feet tall, and she is not wearing her hood or anything like that. She's got silver hair, long silver hair down to maybe about her waist, and in this case, she's got it in like a long braid to keep it out of the way. She's actually, you would expect it to be down her waist, but it's like wrapped around her like shoulders, just to keep it out of the way. And she's got like red eyes. It's fairly obvious to see her eyes, and she's got very pale skin. And she's wearing a blue shirt, it's the same color shirt as the man's tunic, trimmed in like a copper. And and her pants are black, and there's a gray stripe kind of just like down each pant leg, kind of like Han Solo's pants.
I'm so sorry. I have blue tunic trimmed in copper. Pants are. One more time, sorry.
So it's a blue shirt. It's not as long as a
I'm
tunic.
so sorry.
It's okay.
Sure.
The black
like
pants.
his tunic.
The black pants have a gray stripe down each leg, and she's got like a ton of hip pouches, and she is obviously armed. She has a very, very large scimitar on her hip, and she's got this kind of like light brown cloak, kind of trimmed with like a white fur. And Cyra, you are both observant enough, and she's not trying to hide it. She not only has kind of this long, like a silver tail, like a furred tail. She's also got like 2 fox ears on the top of her head. This is something that you've heard rumors about when you were back in court, but she appears to be a kitsune woman. And they also walk in together, but separate from the kobold and the dwarf. And those two, the kobold and dwarf, kind of go out over to the bar, and they sit down kind of on the opposite side of the tavern from where you two are. Azalea, you take note of these people walking in as well. And the other two kind of... There's enough of a crowd in here that they're actually, no shit, able to disappear into the crowd toward the other side of the room.
I promised only that I would stay within the tavern. So I'm going to move to a different seat. Can I kind of like try to split the distance between both parties? I am intrigued, a natural curiosity of the kitsune, because I've never met one before.
Sure.
But I also want to know what the Ravardarian sailors are doing.
Azalea, while you just see Cyra get up and start to move, what are you doing? Azalea, there you go.
Probably babysitting once again.
You're gonna follow her?
Listen, I am doing what I said I would do. Which
Well,
is
where,
not.
where is she going?
She's going like towards the middle of the tavern, pretty much. Just kind of split the difference between the two parties that had walked in.
I'm just gonna go like walk up next. I'll be keep an eye on that kitsune and go over that way.
Oh, so you'll just okay. Do I get the indication that she will watch the kitsune people and not let them leave without telling me?
Kitsune people, and I'll watch the people you are angry at, so you can do something stupid.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, tell me if they do anything weird and if they say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the point.
So are you both trying to like listen in on conversations?
Actually,
Yeah.
gonna buy 3 drinks and I'm gonna take them over to the table.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna try to listen to these people. I don't want to interact with them. I'm just listening. You can interact with yours. I'm not gonna.
Azalea, are you trying to be like sneaky about this, or are you just gonna like?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a stealth check for me.
I'm a rogue. I gotta be sneaky. I have
Got
to
it.
be sneaky.
That's fine. That's fine.
Roll stealth.
Yep. Yes, please.
Shit. Not as high as I wanted, but it's not bad. 29.
Okay. Now roll a perception check for me.
Shit. That one was kind of bad. 15.
Okay. Cool.
I'm real sneaky. That's what I'm focusing on.
So at this point in this adventure, Tor and Danny, you guys are like halfway down the hill at this point. Like it's a long walk. Just to give you guys an idea, you'll be here in another couple of minutes. Yeah. So Azalea, listening in on their conversation, it's really what languages do you speak? This is important.
Common.
And Elvin.
You have no idea what they're saying. Absolutely not.
I should
funny.
have predicted that. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Yeah, they're talking, but you don't know what the fuck they're saying. And Cyra, you go up to the bar where the Barbarians are, but you make
I'm gonna
sure
do my
you
best
make
not
sure to like
even look at them.
not look at them and stay on the other side of the bar. And Azalea is in
Yep.
between you. You order 3 drinks. And the man behind the counter says, that'll be three copper. Are you looking for food as well?
Not right now. Can I buy a fancier drink?
Um,
I want to
certainly.
impress company.
Oh, very well. Then be 1 silver piece, please.
Okay.
And he takes the ales that he was going to give you, and he just like gives them to the dwarf and to the kobold, and he like takes the other one for himself, and he like he
I'm burning with seething with rage.
and he goes to a different barrel a little higher up, and he fills it. It has a very sweet scented, like a wine maybe. And he hands it, all 3 of them, to you very carefully because they're fairly large, and you kind of grip them all as best you can. And
Funny hands. Is fine.
you kind of scamper between the feet of all the other sailors who seemingly are used to smaller folk around them and are very careful not to step on anybody. So you're able to head over to the table there, and though it's a table, it's a high top, so you're gonna have to kind of clamber up into the seats. But there's 4 chairs there, and they're on the kind of the inside 2 chairs facing one another. Who are you gonna try to sit next to?
Lady. She seems more approachable,
Okay.
given her hood not being up and all that.
And as you're approaching, and you kind of make this decision, the man pulls down his hood, his cloak, and this is not something you have ever seen before. It is a very beastly looking man. I mean, you're kind of used to like beast people at this point because of the werewolves and whatnot, but it looks decidedly less canine. And certainly not a cat folk. It's a very in between. And you've read about these people and you've heard about them.
So fascinating.
And you realize this person is a gnoll,
Oh, nice.
a hyena folk, essentially.
Yes.
And as you kind of get a good look at him as you're approaching, you can see his left side, and he's got a really large scar, kind of down the front side of the left side of his face, over his eye, and down his muzzle. And you can see that he's got like on the right side as he kind of looks over at you as you get to the table. He's got a big large canine on the right side of his face, but he's missing the one on the left, and he's just straight up missing an eye on his left side. And he's got you get closer, you see the buttons on his tunic are all made of like bone, like not like carved bone. They're just like pieces of like maybe finger bones, maybe.
Oh, that's horrifying.
And he's got a big gold ring on, and you see that it's got a black lotus on it, and you would know from your experience that this is a merchant guild captain, and also he's got like these really large ears. They're all just filled with like golden and silver earrings, but he kind of like looks down at you as you kind of like clamber up and kind of try to reach the drinks up to the top.
Yep.
As you're on the
I'll do my best.
other side of the table, he offers 0 help, and he's just kind of looking at you.
Yeah.
And the kitsune woman offers you a hand as she kind of like takes some of the drinks and she puts it up. And she appears, if not much younger, at least much less weathered than this gnoll. Who, as you really get a good look at him, his fur is all patchy and shit, and it doesn't look like because he's sick. It's because he's got a lot of scarring. He just kind of like just watches. He takes your drink. He doesn't say anything. He just like starts drinking it. And the kitsune woman, she actually like when she removes the drinks from your hands, like actually offers you a hand up onto the chair. It's just hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Are these for us? And
They are.
the
some
Noel's already
training
drinking.
I've got some training as a bard, and I'm far from home. And you guys look like you have stories. Can you tell me anything about what's happening in the world?
They look at each other, and it looks like the woman is about to say something, and you see she's got an iron ring with a lotus on. She also appears to be part of the merchant guild, but not a captain. And she seems to be subservient in this case. And the gnoll, he says, you know, it's probably best if you don't go walking around telling people that you're not from around here when you're not wearing the proper accoutrement for somebody who's not around here.
You don't look like the man who cares.
Oh, I care. I care about money, and I care about what things that we can get. Now, you look like a very familiar sort of person. Somebody I could maybe get to know a little bit more. And the other woman, she looks kind of confused a little bit, just kind of like looking between the two of you. But maybe this happens, and you kind of pick up on the fact that maybe he talks like this to everybody, and she just kind of doesn't say anything.
I'm not looking for secrets. Just what are you willing to share?
And yet, he's talking fairly loudly, and like the rest of the bar is also, they're all having their own conversations. Azalea is paying attention to gibberish, as best she could tell. As you kind of are initiating this conversation, Tor and Danny, you guys get down to like the water line. You're maybe like 2 minutes away. You're pretty close. And he says, "You're not looking for secrets, my friend, but you are the secret, are you not?"
I have my own, don't I?
Oh,
What more do I need?
You are the type that does not want to be seen, but yet wants to be known. I understand that full well. Well, you are known to us. Known to me, anyway. Yes. You are, the one called Cyra, yes?
Called Cyra.
Yes. Known as, anyhow. And he, the one eye he has, rather than give you a wink with that eye, he gives you a wink with, like, the empty eye socket. Really weird.
Yeah.
She's just, his compatriot just kind of, like, starts drinking. And she says, Captain, could we be a little bit more quiet, please? And of course not! The people in here don't care.
He's right.
Well, there are plenty of strange folk in this land, and plenty of folk who want to leave. And I can understand that you and your compatriots are those types. They just kind of like lets you take that as you will.
I think they're on their way. One's over there. She's trying her best to keep me out of trouble. The other two will be here soon.
Yes, you both, all four of you are quite troublemakers to my understanding. I've been watching you all day, actually.
I was going to say, like,
Truly,
you can say literally
an interesting show you had to put on. Not doing well, so keeping your identities under wraps, huh?
Okay, but like, we're just the crazy people here. No one pays attention to crazy people.
Truly.
No one pays attention to crazy people. They might as well be invisible.
I am fairly certain you weren't doing that on purpose.
But better lucky than good.
Yes, I have a certain bit of luck myself. It did not take long to find you. You're fairly conspicuous even in this town. And you see on his hands, he's got like fairly sharp claws, and he's kind of just like working his nails. As Danny and Tor, you guys arrive at the Ocean Breeze Tavern, and you kind of like push the door open, and you don't see Cyra through the crowd or Azalea.
Do I see them enter though?
Yeah, you do.
All right, I'm gonna wave specifically Danny over.
So
Attempt to, but like discreetly.
Danny, there's too many people. You can't see over them to see Azalea or Cyra. But Tor, you see both Azalea wave at you, and then you see this large gnoll, just like he's far shorter than you, but probably heavier than you. He waves. You see two people waving at you, like You've never seen this knoll in your entire life, but you know Azalea and you see Cyra as well with the knoll.
I'm gonna do it.
I glare at the knoll, and then I'll walk over towards Azalea with
Short
an
one.
So
We should perhaps invest in sign language. Because
So-
I don't know that they're going to decipher that.
So Tor heads over
Yeah, I have
towards
no idea.
Azalea. Danny, Tor just kind of like moves through the crowd.
I'm gonna try to keep up with Tor.
Yeah, it's fairly easy as Tor is kind of like making a path for you, just following in his wake, as it were. And you're Azalea's not quite at the bar; she's at one of the high tops near the bar. And yeah, there's open seats for you guys.
Seat.
I'll sit down and I'll ask Azalea, "What's good to drink here?"
I don't know. I'm listening. You. What are they saying?
I don't know.
I'm talking to Danny at that point. I took over to you. What are they saying?
What? I just got here.
What are they saying?
I'm
Get your
gonna try
shit
to.
together, man.
I'm gonna try to listen. Can I hear them?
Roll a perception check.
18.
Yeah, and so as you ask Azalea Tor what's good to drink, the bartender overhears you, and he calls, "Oh, we have sundry ales and meads and wines. Anything is good here, good sir. Anything for a price, of course." And Danny, what languages do you speak?
Oh gosh, quite a few.
Yes, probably we'll cover it, but I seem to be sure.
I'm
Comment-
gonna pass Tor a gold coin and be just get us something.
Common, Goblin, Sylvan, Dwarven, Undercommon.
You also have no idea what they're saying.
It's Draconic. Tor speaks Draconic, though, so if Tor is still hanging out, he will hear, or he will
Oh yeah,
be able to
I
understand.
do understand Draconic,
Yeah.
but I went to go get 3 meads from the bar.
And
Uh,
so Tor, you get up
You're at the
with
bar.
the gold coin and move over to the bar.
I love it.
And Danny, you and Azalea are sitting together at another table, just slightly away from the bar. Go ahead. You were going to say something, Danny?
Oh, I was just gonna say I have no idea what they're saying.
What do you mean
It's
you don't know what
gibberish.
they're saying?
It's gibberish. You can hear it.
I know, but you're supposed to know what I don't know.
That's
Listen,
pretty
that is
high
That
expectations.
is way too much. to
Sir,
expect
you're not
from him.
there. Shut up.
In my head.
So Tor, you get up to the bar, and then yeah, the bartender again, he's wearing all black, and everything's black. You realize he's actually got like his nails are painted black, and like and he just like looks to you, and he's like, "Oh, meads, yes, of course, good sir, I can
3
do
of
that
your
for
best
you."
meads for 1 gold.
Oh well, give me just a moment, and he takes the gold and he like pours you the meads, and then you realize that he's given you fairly large tankards, like larger than standard tankards. Like he's like larger than Danny's head, actually. Like hands them to you. They're like it's like half gallon. It's ridiculous. Maybe a little bit more.
Oh boy.
He like it's a shit ton, but he was like, "Oh, this guy's cool. He gave me some gold. All right." I don't feel like more like Tor as he does this. You realize he doesn't feel like doing the change, so he's just gonna give you these giant.
Not my goal.
drinks. And so Tor, as you're there, you overhear kind of snippets of conversation in Draconic from this these gaudily dressed kobold and dwarf. And they seem to be bitching about the heat mostly.
Only you weren't in fur-lined pants.
Yeah. And like that seems to be the topic of conversation at the moment is saying how it's entirely too warm here, and that they can't wait to get underway, but they don't give any specific like times or dates or anything like that. And you like quickly make your way back toward the table.
Okay. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. This is what a golden mead looks like. It looks fantastic. Also, they're just bitches.
Just make sure.
3 pitchers of mead.
They're just hot. They can't stand the heat. And I just grab my big old tanker and start drinking. Cheers!
I could
Well,
swim
I
in
guess I
this.
wasted my time, so I'll drink.
Drink your sorrows away.
Yeah, so you guys start drinking, and Cyra, you can see them conversing. You can't hear anything. And the Knoll says, "It's good that all of you are here anyway. We're about to ship out, and we were looking for you. So this is good."
Do you have like a? We were told you'd find us, but do you have like a magic phrase that we would recognize? Magic wasn't the right word. I shouldn't have said magic. Secret.
Kind of narrows his eye at you. Says, no, that's silly. Why would we do that? And he reaches across the table and he just rather than, because he's not quite close enough to you, he punches his compatriot in the shoulder. That's silly. Why would we do that?
We're not very bright, and we could easily.
We've
go with
noticed.
the wrong people.
You guys are all pretty fucking dumb. You're not the brightest people on this planet. And I've met some pretty stupid people before. Causing a scene like that, screaming your lungs out in front of some vampiric guards. How fucking dumb do you have to be?
There was a fucking creepy ghost doll on my shoulder. It was so creepy. I hated it.
And he just like looks over to his compatriot and he says, "Muri, this one can't even. Oh, she's probably just drunk." Ghosts. Of course, ghosts are real. That's silly. Yes, ghosts are real, and there's probably one over in that place. Sure, whatever. Just I don't know why you're hanging around. Why were they playing with ghosts? Really?
Oh. So we met these gnomes, and listen, I know that like I say I'm not very smart. Danny is selectively very dumb, and Danny asked if they would get us passage to Sharith Aptisa, which obviously was not the question to ask.
I can't hear her say this.
No,
right?
you cannot.
Oh, no.
No. You're like you could swim.
Way too far
you
away.
could swim in your meat, and you're too far away. Yeah, you're not picking up any of this.
He's gonna be swimming very soon.
Okay, so not only did he do that, but then they're like, "Hey, let's take this conversation in private because trying to leave and everything, whatever." And so we have to like play along and not be like, "Haha, just kidding. We're not actually looking to get passage out of here." So we're like, "Well, you guys didn't." What would it take for you guys to get us out? And they're like, well, if you would get rid of the haunted warehouse, get rid of the haunting of the warehouse, we would take you to Sharith Aptisa. And so we had to I don't know, what if you guys got waylaid? I don't know. We didn't know who we were looking for. We didn't know who was looking for us. And also it was a good way to pass the time. And as I said, not very bright.
And they just they look at each other and the woman's name Muri, apparently. Muri. She looks down at you and she says, and she just kind of gently puts her hand on your shoulder and she goes, "Yeah, you guys are pretty fucking dumb. I'm really sorry." That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Give us time. We'll do something worse.
Please don't. We're going to be at sea, and if you guys do something dumb, it probably means you're going to drown. Don't just... Look, we're not responsible for your life. We're just responsible for getting you out of here. Just... whether it's alive or dead, it wasn't specified. It's...
Instructions were unclear.
And she just kind of releases you, and the Knoll just yes, you guys are dumb. Yes, I have been on this planet for far too long to watch some of you idiots fall overboard. I'm more likely just going to tie you to one of the masts. And yes, those gnomes and their weird non-sailing ship is shenanigans. It's bullshit. It's some magical arcane bullshit. I don't know how it works. It clearly doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean it doesn't sail?
Did you not see that there weren't sails on it? There were no sails on it. It doesn't sail. That's how sailing works. You use wind. Wind in a big thing of fabric on a mast, and it pushes you places. That's how boats work.
But that's not the only way they work. Sometimes they have, oh no, what's the word?
Oars. You're looking for oars.
Thank you. Yep. Sometimes they have oars. Does this one have oars? Maybe we just don't.
He looks at you like
bells or oars.
You can really tell that he thinks you're a fucking moron, and he knows you're an idiot.
We were already there.
he just looks at you like a dumb child, and he's like, "What? I don't think I have the time to educate you on the intricacies of seaborne vessels. Maybe one of your
fair.
compatriots is a little bit smarter."
I also don't really care. I don't know. It'll be a waste of your time.
Look, you need to get all of your things and be ready to go by midnight. We will set sail at midnight. Do you understand?
Yes. Should I tell the others, or will you tell them?
You can tell them. Well, no, I don't trust you.
I also don't trust me. So
he just
that's a
pushes
thing.
his way from the table, and he just starts walking over. And so Cyra, you're left with Muri, Muri, as this gnoll walks over towards the other table of Azalea, Danny, and Tor, and all of you see this gnoll coming. He's not quiet. He's not. He's not trying to make a scene, but he just pushes people out of the way. He doesn't give a fuck. He's just
He's a merchant captain.
This man,
what are they gonna do to him?
this is a hulk of a man. Even if he's fairly short, he's 5'3". He probably weighs 250 pounds. It's just pure fucking mass. And he walks up to your table, and he takes the last seat there, and he says, well, if it isn't Danny and Azalea and Tor. Ha! I see that you are drinking already. This is good. We are leaving at midnight. And he just kind of gets up, pushes away from the table.
Well, that's good for him, huh?
And as he heads back towards you, Cyra, Muri just goes, oh my gods. Just keep him company. And so they trade places as the gnoll comes back to you, Cyra, and Muri heads over to your table.
I've already got a strategy.
And so go ahead.
What can you tell me about the ships that are flying the Blood Queen's flag and uniformed in the most hideous clothing you've ever seen?
Roll a diplomacy check, and then I'll get back to you.
Oh god, I can't wait. I can't imagine he's buddy with them. He might be. That would be my. I rolled a 18.
Okay, so the Muri, the Kitsune woman, walks over to your table, Azalea, Danny, and Tor, and she goes, "I'm so sorry. My name is First Merchant Muri. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. We were awaiting your arrival, and we were, told by certain people to look for you, and we're getting you passage out of here. I know the captain wasn't very helpful in describing that. I could just see it from across the room. I'm so sorry. I kind of have to explain these things for him. But yes, we've been told by our mutual acquaintances out west that we're supposed to take you, and now that you're here, we'll leave at midnight. We're on the Merchant Guild ship Brilliant Barrel, the MGS Barrel, a Brilliant Barrel. Is that acceptable to all of you? I know you don't know me, but just understand, we're doing it. And she just kind of trails off. She just waits for a response.
Is it just moored out front here?
As a matter of fact, it is. Yes. It's one of the flouts out here. A 3-mast, 2 square rigs, a lateen rig in the back. One of the merchant ships, the Brilliant Barrel. It's right out front, really.
Hey, what do you think, guys?
I mean, yeah, this was what we're supposed to meet up with them. What I mean,
Yeah, these are the people, right? You're the people?
Allegedly.
Yes, we're the people from the
From the people.
the wood out west. And she kind of
From the people for the people.
she can't really wink, and she's wmoving her whole face as she's trying to
why
wink at
can't
you. She just
Oh my god.
I don't know. She just can't do it. She's trying real hard.
You're great at subtlety, aren't you? Sure, let's go.
Yes. Well, as it's about midday now, I suggest you collect your things from wherever you were staying.
Damn it, we gotta go back up that hill.
I'm so sorry. If I had known, well, we were watching your little performance earlier by the warehouse. Just try not to draw any more attention to yourselves, please.
But question:
I have an answer, maybe. Please ask it.
Are we sharing the boat with anybody else? Like, is it just us? Like, you making a trip for us, or is
Oh,
there like
well,
other people?
I mean,
Or
there's sailors, of course, people to sail the ship. Um, we're a merchant guild ship, so uh, it's sailors and other goods procured by the guild. In us, and
that's
in
good.
you,
That's
I
good.
guess.
Fine.
No, there's no other passengers, I suppose.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just asking because I'm incredibly intelligent, and trying to scope out what might happen on this journey, and I'm concerned.
What's your intelligence score?
Oh, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is. That's the funniest part to me. As I'm talking
I'm
shit
pretty
about
sure
the
it's pretty
character.
high. I just want to make sure.
Definitely
It's
higher
actually
than mine. Yeah.
it's 16.
Okay. You don't have to make a deception check. Good for you. um, yeah, and she's like, well, a fair warning. There have been some raids from Drekkinger pirates. We will do our best to fight those off, of course. But we may need your help if things go a bit south. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal, to be honest with you, but just in case. That's really the only worry I have, other than getting out of this mist. But there's a system for that. Not too big of a deal, I think, on your part. You just get to sit and enjoy. Well, actually, you won't even really get to watch it. And she kind of like looks around. There's enough conversation. Nobody seems to be really paying attention to you guys. She says, "We're gonna keep you stowed for a little while, and then when we get out, we'll go from there. Is that understood? Is that okay?"
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay. Very very good then. Well, I'm going to go back with my captain and your compatriot Cyra. A bit of a strange one. Well, all of you are a little strange, to be honest. It is what it is. Good day
You're
to you.
not so normal yourself.
And she just kind of like she steps away from the table and kind of does a slight bow and kind of spreads her arms out like with like a slight flourish of the cloak, and then she kind of just spins on her heel and heads back toward the table. So as that conversation had gone down, Cyra, you had asked about the Ravardarian soldiers or crewmen, whatever they are.
Soldiers, apparently.
And yes, and he says, well, they are soldiers of some sort. It is one of their military uniforms. I am not an expert on Ravardarian military uniforms. I know it's particularly ugly. And he actually like shouts over towards the bar as Muri's coming back. Goes, hey, Ravardarians, and they kind of like stop and turn to look. Your uniforms are fucking ugly. And they look at each other, and like the bartender says, "Hey, stop that! Enough! No, don't even start! Don't even start! I'm not having any of that today." And all right, fuck you, buddy. And he's kind of just drinking his
I'm
mead.
just gonna sit smugly next to him while he does all this.
Look, you have a point. Now what they're doing here, I don't fucking know. Clearly they're working on board those ships. What for? I don't know. I haven't been on their ships. I haven't been in their ships. I don't know. I mean, they're clearly the Blood Queen's ships, as you noticed. I don't know. They're hired hands, perhaps. Clearly, sailors, not really. I don't think they'll last a day at sea. To be clear, more at home in the whole mountains thing. But
Bars, taverns.
yeah, well, I mean, they're soldiers, of course. I don't think they have their sea legs yet. They look fairly fresh-faced. But I think they got here via a land route. I saw them come down from the hill maybe a week ago. Not that anybody was really allowed to see them. Everything was kind of closed off. It was pretty secret. I don't know. They were carrying some heavy crates, or they're pulling heavy crates. I don't know. I don't know whether...
Is there? Do you keep abreast of political affairs or just economic?
Well, to keep abreast of economic affairs, you have to be abreast of political affairs.
So, is there any talk of an alliance between the Ashlands and Ravardare?
Now there is. Once I get out of here, I'll be the first ship to leave port in maybe a week or two. There are some that go in and out every day, but those seem to be more fishing vessel types. And if they are smart, then perhaps they would tell their contacts. But I'll be the first merchant guild ship out of here. There are other sailors guild ships that have gone in and out, and perhaps the word has spread. But I will at least be the first merchant guild ship to spread the
Interesting.
word.
So this is the first news of it.
Well,
Interesting. Well, that
perhaps we shall see.
we haven't missed major signs. I'm
Seems to
intrigued.
be the case.
All right. That's my biggest concern. What the fuck are they doing? We hate them.
Do a society check for me, Cyra, just like a recall knowledge.
12.
Yeah, that's as far as you know, politically, Draconia sees itself as not requiring allies, so it has
Yeah, I
never
was gonna
reached
say
out to anybody. Historically, Robert Dare has been allied with the Underhall, and Robert Dare has used other nations as required, and so has Draconia.
Yeah.
Both, for example, Agicus and Odimori, both north of Draconia and west of Robert Dare, have been kind of pit against one another, kind of, little pseudo wars, just for proxy wars.
There we go. That's what I was looking
Yes,
for. Sorry,
I was
yeah,
like,
my bad.
yeah, but proxy wars between the two, or have been allied to one or the other at certain points in the past 100 years or so. And then there are other little smaller, like, duchies and princedoms and whatnot, kind of out on the Elevian plains that are, vying for support from one country or the other. But Robert Dare is very well known as an extremely powerful military power. And nobody really knows why. Nobody wants to attack them ever, except for Draconia. Draconia loves doing that.
We
But-
hate them.
Yeah,
'Cause
you guys
they
have...
also
but-
huge amounts of power.
Yeah, and it's like, they're almost like, considering the fall of the old empire, Robert Dare and Draconia are the powerhouses on that side of the continent right now. Now, the Underhall is always... It's just too large and too many under halls, as it were, to conquer
Be an easy
properly.
target.
It's just too difficult. So they've never really been attacked. The other major power is the Imperium of the Feywild right now. And I mean, but they're in the middle of a civil war right now. The Half-Heart Rebellion is raging, and so they're like busy. They're a busy power. Everybody else is kind of just like, there's a couple of wars going on, like Sudalor and the Linyenwa Alliance are fighting Umbaria and Sudingia in the War of the Central Powers. That's just next door from the Ashlands, right? You guys are right there. So that's like kind of the biggest conflict at the moment. Power-wise, you're not really sure out of that group who would be willing to even consider allying themselves with the Ashlands. And Darlor is kind of a duchy off to the west of the Ashlands, and that's like, they're, as far as rumor has it, have been kind of plying both sides of that war for an ally against the Ashlands, to defend against the Ashlands. So the fact that the Ashlands is either allying itself or maybe buying mercenaries from Robert Dare will be an upsetting political
Huge news.
revelation.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When that gets to the outside world.
Are you going to make like extra stops so that you can tell more people faster?
This is the first thing he doesn't have an immediate answer for. And he seems to think for a moment. He says, "It's possible that I might make stops, but I have my ways of dispersing information without having to stop.
That's fair. That's fair.
My first planned stop is in Sereno, in Umbaria. That is the first planned stop, but who knows? There are always stops that are unplanned for.
Life has a way of happening.
We passed through 3 capital cities, and 2 of them are at war. Or actually, let me take that back. 1 of them is at war at the moment. 1 of them might be at war, depending on this news. And then the other one is possibly being raided by pirates. So, there's a lot of conflict in the way."
There's a lot going on.
And at this point, he kind of like sits back, and he kind of just goes quiet for a minute.
Does he look done with talking?
Yeah, he seems to have kind of dismissed you.
That's
It's
fine.
just like,
Dude,
he's just, like,
I am
done.
stoic. I am so accustomed to being dismissed by larger creatures. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna split whatever was in my cup between his cup and Muri's, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
head back. to my
Miria's come back, and then she kind of pats you on the shoulder, and she says, "They'll be ready. They'll be ready, probably. Good. Okay, we've been together too long. Go
Yep.
on, go."
I'm-
She's gonna like
I'm
shoosh you
fine.
away. Even if you were already on your way, she was like, "Come on, get out of here."
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go join my friends.
Okay, and so Danny, Azalea, and Tor, Cyra makes her way to the table, hops up onto a chair. Now you all four are together again, and it is like going towards mid-afternoon now.
So they seem fun.
Yeah. I mean, erratic. Maybe. Do you see the way he was like yelling at people across the room about their
Yeah, it was
ugly?
awesome,
What's your problem with the uniform? I mean, it's a uniform.
hideous, and we
yeah.
hate them.
We do.
It's hideous, and we hate them.
Okay.
Also,
I heard their name was Jake.
from State Farm.
From Farm State.
At
Sorry.
this distance, can I hear them talking? Or are they too far away? I don't remember where we got.
Make a perception check.
I rolled below a 10, so I rolled a 9.
You
Gonna
can't
guess
make anything
no.
out of
Yeah.
any importance. They are
Yeah.
speaking in Draconic. There are snippets of it.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're not hearing anything important. These guys seem
I don't hear words.
professional enough to A, not start a bar fight over being insulted, and B, talk about important things in a bar.
Still hate them. I guess we probably don't have time to clear out the warehouse before we go.
Meh, why would we? All it was going to do is get us a ride. We got one.
Nah. Also, there's a really creepy warehouse. I did not like that. I did not like it at all.
Well, since we don't want to clear out the warehouse, I bet Azalea does.
Do we agree on one thing? Is this the first time we've ever agreed on anything?
Probably. I didn't want to. What? I heard it was creepy dead kids. No, I don't want to go
Azalea's
there.
broke.
We agree on one thing.
Can I throw my empty tankard at Tor?
Is it empty yet?
I don't know. Is it?
I want to catch it.
Yeah, well, first off, I need Azalea to make a fortitude save.
Why?
Because it's a lot of alcohol.
It's a massive amount of alcohol.
Well, hold on. Let me. As well. We both drank it.
I know. The rest of you are about to follow suit here shortly.
Not
I got an
me.
18.
You
Cyra,
assumed, sir, that I drank it all.
it's true. What'd you get?
18.
You're not drunk, surprisingly, and you make a ranged attack.
I want to catch it.
Okay, we'll get there.
Wait, do I add anything to the ranged attack?
Your dexterity modifier.
Okay, good. Dex modifier. 18 as well.
What's your armor class? You're not wearing your armor? Are you wearing your
20
armor?
like me.
Yeah, because I thought we were going
That's
back
right.
in the
Yeah,
warehouse.
Yep.
20.
Yeah. So you just
Yeah.
you kind of half-heartedly throw it. You don't like whip it at him, and he just like kind of catches it out of the air like pretty easily. Actually, he needs both hands because it's fairly large. It's-
No, he has two. He has a
I want to pour half of my remaining mead and half of Danny's remaining mead into this and then give it to Cyra. It's a good mead. Drink up.
You're all at about a third.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh, yeah,
This is
drink.
Way
Yum.
too much for me.
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not thirsty. Thank you, though.
Ah,
I'm very small, sir.
Bitch, I'll finish it.
Okay.
I'll push it back towards her.
I have to outdo Tor now, so I have to finish it.
Okay. Tor, are you gonna drink yours as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish drinking what I have left.
Okay. I need both of you to make fortitude saves.
All right.
21.
Shit, 20.
You know, it tastes really fucking good. But surprisingly, neither of you are even tipsy at the moment somehow. Mostly, you think due to just the adrenaline of the day, and like you had a pretty decent meal at breakfast. And sure, it's getting a little later on, but for some reason, it is not hitting you just yet. But you're able to finish it. Danny's the only one with alcohol left, as Cyra had dumped hers out into the other Muri and the
Sharing.
captain's tankards. So, now that you've finished your drinks, except for Danny, who's not
Let's see
finishing
who
it.
can go farther. I can drink more than you.
I'm sure you can.
No, I have to prove it.
Go for it.
You gonna drink Danny's?
Yeah, I'll be like, go for it, and I'll push Danny's over there.
Yeah, okay.
Make a fortitude save.
Okay. I'm gonna waste all my good rolls on this. Hold on, math. 25.
Nice.
Somehow, against all odds, she is figuring out how to put it down and not worry about it.
Apparently.
You're feeling like just a tiny bit tipsy. Like you're feeling it. You're not drunk at all. You can think clearly. Maybe you might want to take, walking around a little bit more slowly. But like, it's not bad. Not bad at all. And you have now drank more than Tor has.
Be like, joke's on her. We have to go up to the map. Go get her shit. That's a hell of a hike.
I can still hike better than you.
So now that you guys have finished drinking, is there anything you guys want to do?
I just want to go get my shit. Well,
Yeah.
I'll wait until it gets dark to grab stuff. But so whatever I think that will take for the hike, 'cause it's like an hour up or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. It's like 30-ish, 45 minutes. Yeah. Danny, is there anything you want to do?
No.
Okay. Azalea, same thing. Just wait for darkness and then go get your stuff.
I'm gonna do the hike in 20 though.
Okay.
I can
You're
do
going.
it
You're going to hustle. You're going to. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you can. You get it about halfway up before you get tired. But that cuts maybe 10 minutes off, so it takes you about like 25, 30 minutes compared to the others.
I'm better.
And so you all get back to the Hot Cliffs Inn, and you see Azalea already with her stuff, just like red-faced at the door, just waiting for you guys. Because it's still hot here. Whatever is going on, geologically in the area keeps the whole area warm. And like she's just huffing and puffing, but like she's got all her shit, and she got there faster than you guys.
Get on my level.
My level's
I
pretty
shall-
comfortable. I like it.
I
I'm not all red-faced right now.
Okay, so you guys get all your things. And there's a couple hours until midnight because it's kind of late fall. Do you?
They just said by midnight, right?
That's true.
There's nothing
They
wrong
did
with
say
going up
they're
early.
leaving by midnight. So I was gonna say, do you want to go down there? Do you
Oh,
want to wait until the
yes.
last minute? Like,
No, so many things can happen. I'd
Yeah.
rather go meow.
I'd like to get on board and squared away. Not stowed away. That's a specific term.
which
But,
you're going to be
They may be
stowed.
stowing us away, yeah.
Be smuggled away.
Yes, you'll be smuggled.
Stowed away would assume they had no idea we
That's
were there.
true. That's a good point. Yep, you're a good point. That's a good point. So you guys gather your items. I need all of you to make stealth checks to hide your shit. At least be inconspicuous, anyway.
Well,
Okay, that's fine.
Remember, all of you except for Danny have a hero point left. You can re-roll if you want.
23.
26.
27.
Okay. Yeah, you guys head down toward the docks, and as the moon rises, the mist doesn't clear. You guys have not seen the sun or the moon in a couple of days. And the sun at least a couple of weeks now. Time is kind of strange. And in the dark of the torchlight and the very just dispersed moonlight, and the lighthouse is lit, and the lighthouse provides a little bit of light. You guys make your way down towards the docks, and you guys were told of the Brilliant Beryl, the ship that you guys are heading towards.
Beryl, like the precious stone,
Yes.
or like the okay,
Beryl, Beryl,
okay, cool.
the thing that emeralds are. Anyway,
Not what a cougar makes.
I have to Google. I'm stupid.
it's okay. Beryl, Beryl.
Burl.
It is a flout, a large or a medium-sized ship, and you guys get back to the tavern, and yes, you are able to find the ship fairly easily. You'd kind of spotted it on your way out of the tavern, so you just made sure that it hadn't moved anywhere. And via the torchlight, you guys see Muri. Muri, it's weird. She's like kind of her bright silver hair and her tail kind of would normally make her stand out, but in this mist, she blends in really well. And she kind of just apparates out of the mist, and she says, "Just give us a moment before you get onto the pier. When you hear the signal, that'll be time to get onto the ship."
What's the signal?
And she just walks away. She doesn't even. She probably hears you. You actually see her ear twitch because she hears you, and she heads out in the mist, and then a very, very loud knoll just takes a minute or two, but oh yeah, he's very loud. He's laughing. He's talking in a very just strange mix of languages, common, undercommon. Then you hear some weird high chittering. You have no idea what the hell it is, but it seems like there's probably some sort of distraction here.
Perfect. Let's go.
All right.
And you guys follow Cyra, and Cyra just kind of bolts onto the pier. All of you do fairly well at being relatively quiet, and even Tor, your relatively heavy footfalls, considering all the shit you're carrying, is drowned out by the extremely loud Knoll captain of the ship. And you guys actually end up seeing him in the mist. He seems to be regaling a pair of guards, maybe a dock worker. You're not really maybe some sort of administrator, with some story, and their backs are just angled enough so that they won't look back and see you, as long as you guys are quiet, and you guys are as you clamber up the walkway onto the ship. And Muri meets you at the top. She's welcome aboard the Brilliant Beryl. Please get below decks quickly and quietly. We will let you know when it's safe to come out. And she kind of gestures you, pushes you towards there's some stairs. And
Yeah, I'll go down there.
it looks like
Look
there's
for a good place for us to hole up.
yeah, it looks like there's some sailors still loading crates on. There's a crane that they're kind of working, and some pulleys and whatnot, and they're dropping some crates into the hold, and you make sure to get out of the way, and you hang out near the front, the bow of the ship, and kind of wait and wait and wait, and then what seems like an eternity, probably something like an hour, you hear the activity on the deck begin to kind of intensify as everybody gets ready to make way, and you all hear something about ropes and the anchor and tow ropes. It seems like you guys are going to be towed out of here, and as you guys listen to the sailors and all the hubbub above, as you guys are being pulled away from port, you feel a very gentle motion. It seems that this part of the port at least has breakers, so that the waves don't just crash and everything, because you can still hear the waves. And they're crashing into the cliffs nearby. But it's very gentle, calm water here, and you guys are towed out into the night. And that's where we're going to end for today.
We made friends. We did so good.
You made something.
Yeah.
If
Who
I
knows?
think of them as friends, I'm gonna count it.